in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday.
Can I just out the gate say a newly bespectacled Mike Winters?
You did. You can. I do have the new
nice
glasses on.
I like them a lot.
You like them?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a good, you know what it is? I got so used to rimless Mike that to see a rim down here, it's definitely a change of pace.
Yeah.
But I really like the shape, the contour, and like we were talking about, the squarer lenses, they work a lot better on you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are...
As one who, literally came from a world of giving people lenses that, fit their faces.
Yeah.
I'm a connoisseur.
I'm pretty happy with these. They're comfortable. They fit well. I see well in them. And when I first put them on, there was a little bit of adjustment.
Sure.
It's a little because
when you have a bottom rim again, it takes some getting used to.
Yeah, it's a little, but the more I've worn them, the more I'm liking.
Yeah.
So this is actually one of two pair.
Oh, nice.
These are
your everyday glasses.
Everyday wear around glasses. But if I need to do computer work,
do you have them with you? Oh, snap. Okay. All right.
Now I'm blind. I don't know what's going on.
I can't see nothing. I'm Mr. Magoo up in this piece.
I'm so blind. I don't know what's going on. And then I got my computer glasses, which these are El Cheapos. I literally spent $30 on these. But
nice.
They're just a pair.
Similar shape with the square versus the rectangle. I like.
Yeah, and then and these I can actually read the computers pretty easily. And it's a difference. I was like, hey, they also can serve as readers. Because it's basically the bottom half of my bifocal.
Yeah.
Is
just
the whole
in a full
glass.
lens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's a reader.
It's an intermediate lens, essentially.
Yeah. But
because you don't need full-blown readers, you just need an intermediate lens to read.
Yeah, but which is and they work as service because I can see the TVs and everything, no problem. It's not as crisp.
Sure.
As my day-to-day wear. But it's nice. I can read the computer screen like from here. And I'm like, oh, look, I can read all those words.
This happens every single time I sub in for Mike.
Yeah.
There's an adjustment period. I come over here and I push the control button and I roll the mouse thing, the scroll wheel on the mouse a few times because I have to blow it up a little bit. I don't have readers. Like I'm not ready to go gentle into that good night just yet. And yeah, I'm just going to blow everything up on a computer screen. That actually got me in trouble in Vegas.
Did it?
So I took to doing this thing. I stopped trying to like squint and read menus. I would just grab my phone and like use the camera and zoom.
Right.
And then I could read everything.
Sure.
It was no problem. So we were I almost feel bad admitting this. We were at an Einstein Brothers Bagels.
Okay.
Inside a Circus.
Okay.
And there was this group of people in front of us.
They got great bagel sandwiches,
fantastic. Not a sponsor. They were, there was a group of like 3 or 4 people in front of us who were this, and we were trying to figure it out kind of like between us. We figured Israeli.
Okay.
Based on kind of their accents and kind of how they were talking.
Okay.
Just this incredibly beautiful group of like 4 people. I mean, they were like gods and goddesses. Yes.
Chiseled out, yeah.
Even the dudes were like, you are pretty. But here's the thing. I was trying to see the selection of bagels that I had to choose from.
Okay.
So I took my camera out and I used the zoom and I was just looking at the bagels, and Allie nudged me and said, "I know what you're doing, but stop right now," because I inadvertently was aiming my camera directly at the keister of one of the ladies in front of me. I didn't mean to do it. I was completely unintentional, but I was committing like basically a hate crime, just trying to read a menu.
I just wanted to see if it said locks.
And that's what it was. I to this day, like ever since then, I have those moments where it's like flashes of it, and I'm like, oh, you dummy. You look so stupid just now. But all I was trying to do was I just wanted to see the bagels. Ma'am, you have a great keister. Fine. I just want to see my selection of bagels.
I just want to know if it came with hummus and sprouts or just hummus.
I'm just trying to see if they had the green chili amongst the selection of bagels. And by the way, they didn't.
See, the only thing that made me happier is if Allie would have come up to you and said, "What are you doing, Einstein?"
No. Instead, she decided to shame me in front of everyone.
Now, did she say it loud enough so it said Israelis
no, thank God,
could understand?
I don't know what would have happened next. I didn't even flash to, this is what it looks like I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because, in my later in the vacation, she did mention I'm the most awkward person she's ever met.
Wow.
So there's that.
She's young. She's a lot of other people she hasn't met yet.
I'm hella awkward, so there's that. But yeah, that was one of those moments. It was like, oh my God, I didn't even realize what was happening in the moment.
That's funny.
It wasn't. I mean, looking back, sure, but boy, howdy was it not.
So you're gonna think of that every time you go to an Einstein bagel.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Ugh. And then awkwardly just, randomly in my car at 6:30 in the morning.
So just for some closure, what'd you get?
Fair enough. It was actually an everything bagel with I'm pretty sure it was just like some just random schmear. I didn't even get any meat or anything. It was random schmear, yeah.
I love their sandwiches.
They're good. They're good.
Yeah. And I don't care if it's lunch or breakfast sandwiches.
You know what's messed up is that wasn't even the highlight of the Einstein Brothers Bagels visit.
Really?
Oh, no. It was when I had to defuse my friend because they couldn't break 100. And she was about to jump over the counter.
Wow.
Yeah. No, this was
That's all at the same Einstein?
This is all at the same Einstein Brothers, which that's a whole story in itself because the whole weekend we were trying to find a freaking Einstein Brothers and we had to find one inside a circus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it was a whole story in itself. You know what? We'll save that for the 8.
Okay.
I know we got some time to fill.
We do have some time today.
Speaking of which, give us that rundown.
Yeah, we do. We're going to replay some interviews and have some chit-chat time
Segway
today.
Master. What's up?
He's a real Einstein there.
That's right. One of the brothers. There's like new glasses energy in the room. I can feel it.
That's what it is.
I like it.
It's the energy from that. We're going to replay our interview with Andrew Moore from the Roswell Chamber. She joined us yesterday in the 9 o'clock hour, so we're going to play that here in just a few minutes. We'll get more stories of the Einstein. And we'll chit-chat next hour. Yeah. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we had the folks from Friends of Bitter Lake join us a couple weeks ago. And I thought I'd play that for you because if you're looking for stuff to do this weekend, I got stuff for you to do. So,
I'm pretty sure that every time you drop something, it's a mic drop.
It is.
Yeah.
By default.
It just works out that way. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Or someone knocks me out. It's a mic drop.
Paper, mic drop.
Good down. It is 7:14. I guess we should take a look at some weather.
Yeah, maybe.
It's going to be like it was yesterday. It's going to tease us and rain and probably not rain or rain for like 2 minutes, get ominous, and then goes away.
In fairness, the clouds were nice. The wind was nice.
It was nice. I was like, oh, man, it's getting dark. Maybe. Nothing.
Full disclosure, I don't have air conditioning in my car right now. So any semblance of wind, fantastic.
Go get you enough.
Yeah, I need to get it fixed. I know, but
no. I was going to say, go get you some bean burritos and stuff, and you'll have a mighty wind.
Self-made.
That's going green, sir.
Yes, sir. That's self-propelled. I like it.
I went green by going brown.
I went green. I went brown.
Here's your weather. I'm done. It's all downhill from here.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Right around the 100-degree mark on our high today. We should be getting sunshine most of the day, but just enough moist air available for an isolated afternoon shower or thunderstorm. It'll be cloudy for the overnight hours and low 70s, and then tomorrow a slightly better chance of afternoon showers and storms. Otherwise sunny and hot with our highs near 100. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 78 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 50%. You want to be a glass half full, it's 50% no humidity. I know it's high for us, but calm winds at the moment. Another, like the other days, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, mostly sunny and hot. Highs right around 100 today. Winds will be out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. 20% chance of rain for tonight. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 73 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, they bump our chance of rain up to 30% for tomorrow afternoon. Partly cloudy and hot, highs right around 99, 100 once again. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Partly cloudy with an overnight low of 73. Winds out of the southeast 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then looking at your weekend, a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms Saturday. Sunny, hot, high of 98, winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday night, no talk of rain, just partly cloudy skies, 74 for an overnight low. Sunday, no talk of rain, just sunny, hot, high of 101. Sunday night, still no talk of rain, just partly cloudy skies, overnight low of 73. Monday, when you head back to work, sunny, hot, 103 for a high. And then Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, then they're back to the monsoon, 20% chances of rain. Looks like highs in the mid to low 90s by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. But, so little rain chances through like Saturday, then a couple days of no chances, and then back to chances. So welcome to monsoon season. All right, it is 17 minutes after 7 o'clock. We're going to take a 3-minute commercial break, and then on the other side of the break, we're going to play our interview we had yesterday. Andrew Moore with the Roswell Chamber of Commerce joined us. We'll play that for you next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Well, the biting bugs and the ferocious flyers are out in force, and if you don't take care of them now, you'll be swatting and scratching all summer. Makes me itchy just thinking about it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether it's keeping the fleas and ticks off your animals or keeping the flies and mosquitoes away from your barbecue, you gotta use the right stuff, and you gotta do it at the right time. So come see us now at Roswell Seed Company, and don't let the bugs tick you off. Get it? Tick.
When I was in junior high, my favorite TV show was The A-Team. Deep down, I always wanted to be as tough as Mr. T. A line that appeared in probably every episode was this one.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Even as a 12-year-old boy, I was a planner. While other kids were dreaming of being baseball pitchers, quarterbacks, or rock stars, I was planning my next steps of where to go to grad school. I still have a plan for my life. Everything arranged just right from today until I'm 82. I need to be careful about my planning, though, because James says that life is like a vapor, and what matters most in life isn't necessarily my plan, but God's will. It's not that God is against planning. He talks about it often in Scripture. What he wants me to be careful about is presuming about tomorrow. When I presume about tomorrow, I put off some things that I need to be doing today, things that align with the will of God. I have tomorrow planned out, but I don't really know what tomorrow holds. Maybe it's time to make the most of today.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Not sure which is your dominant hand? Just wait. You'll nail it. Here's Mike Winters.
And joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrew Moore back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Pretty good.
Good. How was UFO Festival and everything for the Chamber?
It was great. It was went out and walked around a little bit.
Yeah.
Saw everything that was going on. My kids spent, honestly, a lot more time up and in all of it because one of my daughter's friends lives literally 2 blocks.
Okay.
So they spent the night over there and walked through and checked everything out.
Okay. Good
and
deal.
she said that it was definitely hands down better than it had been, the previous year when it was rained out.
Good deal.
So,
I know we had a lot of people in town. And
yeah.
I didn't know if any of our chamber members reached out, talked about any of their business or gave any kind of, I'm sure they all were pretty busy
out and
this
about.
weekend.
I saw
and doing
many
some business,
of our locals out and about, which is also something that is different that I saw from the last 25 years that I've lived here is typically you hear UFO festival and the locals scatter. And this year I saw a ton of locals. And so that was really nice.
Yeah. I'll take credit for the fact that gas is $5.50 a gallon and airplanes you can book all the flights you want, but there's a 50-50 chance they're going to cancel it. So I'm thinking, let's hang out in Roswell this weekend.
Yep. It was really cool. Yeah. And then you guys brought in
Clyde Lewis was in town.
Lewis,
yeah, we had a great time with him. Yeah, everything I heard, like all the events that you could buy tickets for were sold out.
Yep.
Which tells me that I'm sure all of our downtown merchants, obviously all of our hotels were sold out. So I'm thinking all of our restaurants and our Main Street downtown merchants and folks like that. And I think all saw a big uptick in business this weekend.
Absolutely.
So,
my daughter works at Cattle Baron, and she said that it was nonstop Friday and Saturday.
Good. That's the kind of stuff we need here.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure we'll get the final numbers here in a couple weeks or a month or so, but hopefully it's a nice little shot in the arm for this economy here, and
absolutely,
hopefully that'll be some good grocery.
I'm sure it is because it was definitely busy. I made it a point to not drive through the middle of all of that. I made sure to go around, but even some of those side streets, you could tell there was an uptick in parking, in people driving. So it was a good sign.
Absolutely.
Good job, City of Roswell.
Yeah, I think all the entities involved did a great job for the Galacticon and Main Street and the city.
Main Street, Roswell,
the UFO
City.
International UFO Museum and Research Center. They all did amazing.
They came together,
so.
and it was a fantastic event. So good job, everybody. I'm very proud of you.
Absolutely. But that doesn't mean there's still a bunch going on with through the chamber. Of course,
absolutely.
Summer is a bit quieter as far as meetings and things go, but business after hours and get-togethers and stuff
events
like that. There's plenty of that going on.
In fact, we are hosting the Roswell Invaders Night.
Yes.
July 14th. So you can get your discounted tickets at the chamber. They're $8 a piece.
Go out there and go to the games.
It is so much fun.
It's very inexpensive. You can get your tickets at the gate or you can get them in advance at the website. You go there and get your Invaders gear. You can get the jerseys and hats and like Friday, I was sporting my Invaders, my blue. I love that. That's my official UFO festival. I love the blue. Not a fan of the green one, but I love the blue one with the green.
The blue is really nice.
With the green trim, I guess you could say. Love that one, but the green one, not.
Well,
but I get it. A lot of people love it.
Discounted rate on the tickets if you come to the chamber for chamber night, $8. And we may have some goodies.
Good deal.
Over there. Last year, we gave away alcoholic beverages.
Good deal.
care of LNF Distributors. They are a great member of ours at the chamber. So
they support a lot of being a member, but they also support a lot of our events.
Absolutely,
and things involved.
They're great.
Too. So yeah.
And then, of course, we are currently taking applications for Leadership Roswell.
The deadline is the end of this month. So we're
July 29th at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
And we were pretty hardcore on turning off the applications online as well as locking the doors. If you don't have your application in, you're going to have to wait a whole nother year.
Yeah, get those applications now. It's a short answer application. It's not.
Yes.
It's so. These are questions that they put on there are designed for you to learn a little bit about you. So there's questions on there like, what do you think Roswell's greatest asset is? What do you think Roswell's greatest problem is? And they want more answers.
And how can you solve those
and
problems?
what do you
Exactly.
But they don't want you to just say Roswell's greatest problem is crime and then move on to the next thing. That's not helpful. We want to know, okay, is it crime? Well, why? What is it that, what do you see as, be particular about it? Why is it crime? What are facets about it? That's what, and so it's not so much what you write. We want to see your thought process and see what you think about this community and things like that, because the whole point of Leadership Roswell is A, to learn leadership skills, but B, is to also familiarize the class with all facets of how Roswell runs in Chaves County, from the government side to business side to emergency services.
Well,
and
we're
all
growing
that stuff.
leaders for our community. And we had a bunch of teachers last year.
Mhm.
That was the largest class I had seen with teachers.
Okay.
So that was really cool that RISD was really allowing and supporting the teachers to take
And
that
it can
one
be a little
Friday off a month.
Yeah, it can be a little trickier for them too,
Yes.
especially in the world where they're short-staffed and then they have to get a sub. But if there's not enough subs because it's COVID and all that world, so it's really it was really great to see that happen, because that probably was a bigger Herculean task than most people realize.
Yep. And we only get there's only 30 seats in the class. So if we get 40 or 50 applications,
Which we usually do.
We
always get
there
more
are
than
no's.
30.
However, if you have turned in an application and we're told no, whether it was last year or in the last few years, you do get weighted more. There is more consideration on somebody that has put in their application more than once, because that shows that you really are interested and dedicated.
Absolutely.
So don't be discouraged if you had been turned down at some other point. Turn in your application. It's always a great class.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, like you said, if you tried last year, year before, you probably got a better chance this time of getting in. So, but please do apply, because it is a great program. It really is a great chance for you to learn about this community. It's been going on for 30 plus years. It's to be honest, the Leadership Roswell program has kind of set a pattern for other similar programs around the state.
We're the longest running leadership program in the state.
Yeah, and those other programs that do great stuff, a lot of them have patterned what they do off of what Leadership Roswell does.
Correct.
So that, flattery is the best form of compliment, or whatever they say there, or what is it? Imitation is the best form of flattery. There, thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Then there you go. There's your answer right there. So it is really great.
And then we also have cap sorting this Saturday starting at 9 a.m.
That's bottle caps, not ball caps, or
correct. The plastic bottle caps.
Yeah.
So we
or
can
mayonnaise
do
jars,
those benches around town. We work with Main Street Roswell. This is their program, but we definitely partner with them. So
isn't like I can't remember the number, but is like 100 pounds of those caps make one bench or something like that?
Yeah, it's like 100 or 200 pounds.
Yeah.
And then if you want a bench, it's $300 is all the cost is. And then we go and sort, because I've been a part of just about all of the sorting Saturdays in the last 6-8 months that they've had.
Is that through Main Street, or is that through one of the churches? Or
it's through Main Street Roswell.
Okay.
But everybody is welcome. So if you've got some kind of community service that you need to fulfill, I know, for example, that the Assist Teens have gone and helped out, because they are all about volunteerism as well as other groups around town. And you don't have to be a youth. You can be an adult.
Yeah.
and it actually goes really quick.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. The people there are fantastic to hang out with. And if you can only be there for an hour, come for an hour.
I imagine for certain people, there's a cathartic thing going on there. You know what I mean? Like some people, like they get in the zone when they're sorting or doing like ironing or, you know what I mean? Certain people have.
Absolutely.
I think for some people, sorting bottle caps by color might be like that little cathartic little, mental.
Well, it's not
health
by
break
color, it's
there.
by...
Or whatever size or whatever it is.
It's cleanliness and type, because there's certain kinds of plastics that cannot be recycled.
Gotcha, okay.
And so that's what we're doing, is going through, getting rid of the metal, getting rid of, if something's really nasty. At one time, Main Street Roswell would take the really, really gross ones and go home and wash them. And I don't think that they do that quite as much. If they're really grody, they go.
The juice ain't worth the squeeze on that one.
Correct.
Basically.
But there are some that are, if they're just kind of dirty, we'll go and kind of wash them out and then bring them back. But it's really cool to see the sorting process and watch these big bags get full of these bottle caps. So from starting at 9, probably go to about noon.
Okay.
The sorting actually takes place at Hawks Automotive.
Okay.
Which is at 12 South Lincoln.
Lincoln, which is over right by 3rd Street and all that there. Yeah.
And it's very easy to get to. And it is. I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun.
Last time I went by there, he had some crazy hot rod thing out there. So I don't know if that's still there or not. But
I'll have to go past there.
That was a while ago. But that was like my landmark. I was like, yeah. But it's right over there.
And then, of course, if you have bottle caps, we at the chamber are a drop spot. So if you've got your bottle caps, bring them over to the chamber, and I'll throw them in the back of my Armada and shuffle them over there so they can be sorted for Saturday.
Yeah, because it's really a great program, like you said. These the benches that they come out, you've seen them, some of them in downtown right now.
Absolutely.
They're benches that are made from these recycled bottle caps. But the cool part is they're cheaper to make than typical benches are, park benches. They're more durable than the other benches, and they're more resistant to graffiti and things like that. So when they try to tag these and all that, it's just a simple sand real quick, and it's back to normal.
Absolutely.
It's very simple maintenance for an item that tends to get, the public doing things to it.
We are partnering with the two families of the two young gentlemen that were killed over at Cahoon Park to donate some park benches over there.
Yeah, a lot of people have been doing naming in the honor of a loved one or something. That's kind of how they've been dedicated.
The families had reached out to us because our staff knows some of the family members of those two young men. And so we said, you know what, we can absolutely help out. And I know that the city of Roswell is putting together kind of a nice little memorial type spot
stuff. Good
over at Cahoon Park, and we thought, you know what, this is perfect.
Sure.
Talk about a perfect thing.
Yeah.
It's just a couple $100 per bench.
Yeah.
And
maybe it gives a little bit of comfort to the families.
And then you can sit and reflect and do what you need, and these young men will not be forgotten.
Yeah, that's a great idea. But that's the beauty of these. So if you were into this, start collecting the bottle caps and things like that. Come out Saturday, maybe and help sort, but then you can learn about the types that are worth saving and the ones that you can't save.
Absolutely.
Because there is most of your soda bottle caps and all that are good to go.
All of your water bottle caps for them, from your Dasani bottles
the screw-off
and stuff.
Caps, yeah.
But you can do your milk tops.
Mm-hmm.
You can do your plastic caps from your laundry detergent.
Yeah.
There are so many other caps.
I think the plastic mayonnaise jars and stuff. The
pretty
lids
much
from those.
anything that's a plastic top.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't have the metal in there.
No glass jars or the metal lids that come with glass jars typically. But the plastic ones, those are all game on. The butter tubs, your country clock butter tubs.
Your medicine tops as well. So if you have medication.
Yeah, all of that's part of it.
You go dispose of the medication with the police department when they do that day.
Save the bottle top.
But then save the top and bring it to us. And if you're a business or an organization around town, we also have the order forms, so that way you can order a bench and have it put in front of your location or somewhere around town, because we've got all kinds of parks, all kinds of places around town that it would be really nice to have a bench.
If it's a good place to park a butt, there's a good place for a bench.
Absolutely. And like I said, they're very inexpensive, and come and sort some bottle cap. It really is fun. The first time I went to go sort bottle caps, I'll be honest, I was rolling my eyes. I can't believe. And it was so much fun. It ended up being so much fun.
Good deal. Well, come out and then again this Saturday. What time?
This Saturday, starting at 9 a.m.
At Hawks.
At Hawks Automotive. You can call us at the chamber and we'll give you more information if I talked too fast here.
Well, we live in a world that you can easily go into your Google machines and type in Hawks.
And if you can't be there the whole time, pop in for an hour, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's
30
amazing.
minutes or 3 hours, whatever you got, we'd love to have you.
We would love to have you. And then a new thing that we're doing at the chamber is, we've got so many regulations and rules that are starting to come out. For example, the paid sick leave started on Friday, and it is required for every business. If you have an employee, you are required to do this paid sick leave in the state of New Mexico.
Okay.
So I know I had questions. So I had reached out to a bunch of my friends that I know around the state that are HR people. So we are partnering with Leprino, and we are going to start a human resources group through SHRM.
Oh, cool.
SHRM is this organization that knows everything that there is to know about human resources. So starting on the 29th will be our first meeting. We're going to do a luncheon at the chamber, and we are trying to get anybody that wants to know more about human resources. And it doesn't matter if you're a huge business that has your own dedicated HR department, or if you're the mom and pop shop that it's you and 2 employees. Come and check this out and sign up and be a part of it. You're going to learn things that you're going to need to know.
Okay.
Because I know I thought there was I was like, I'll just come into the chamber and we'll have a good time. We'll fix some stuff and we'll have some parties and do good things. No, there is the business part of your business that you need to know and be able to follow these rules.
And let's face it, like you said, there's been new additions, changes, and things. And let's face it, these are type of semantics that really make or break businesses.
Absolutely.
Sometimes. And, because generally speaking, especially your small businesses, the owner's passionate about the product and maybe not so much about the minutia of running a business. And unfortunately, when it comes to human resources, if you're not doing those right, that can really bite you in the tail.
And it's not just knowing the rules and regulations. It's making sure that your employee handbook is written appropriately, that it's up to date, that you have the appropriate paperwork for your employees when you're hiring, and whether it be terminating or your employee has quit, what you have hanging in the break room. It's those types of things.
And when a disciplinary issue happens, and let's face it, anytime there's it's a matter of time. Somebody's going to have, you know what I mean? There's just something happens. The difference between success and failure is, do you do the protocols right? If you fire someone, did you do everything that you're supposed to do to follow that track record? I know in the days of old, you're fired and that's the end of it. And in many cases nowadays, you better have some reasonings behind that and things. And if it's not documented, then you're probably going to get sued or have to deal with unemployment or various other issues.
Document everything, even if it's not a formal reprimand. Anytime you speak with an employee, you should be making notes.
Yeah.
What good, bad, or otherwise. And you should be, hey, on this date, I sat down and talked to Joe, and Joe said this, and we discussed this, and move on.
And it's even harder to be on top of that in a small business because, let's face it, the more time you spend with someone, you tend to get friendly, and the relationship, though is a boss-employee, also has elements of friend-peer type. And I'm not saying that's bad, but if you don't know how to handle that like an adult, it can bite you in the tail, and that's where the HR can protect you from those things.
So when that's on the 29th here at the chamber. Like I said, we're trying to get this group started because I know if I have questions, I can't be the only one that has questions when updating my employee handbook and all of these other things. And so Jeannie Lopez Boberas, who's the HR specialist over at Leprino, her and I started talking, and she said, you know what? We need this group because then we can all help each other. Sure. And then, if you have a great employee handbook, for example, then maybe I can get a copy of it and then just tweak it for my specific business.
No use reinventing the wheel here. If it's a good thing, we'll just tweak it to, like you said, to customize it to meet your needs. But yeah, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. The handbook's the handbook. And let's face it, no matter what your business is, there is a common decency that you treat people and interact with. I don't care whether it's an oil field job or a job at a Quickie Mart or something. It's that there's the same level of respect.
That's right. And it doesn't matter if you have one employee or 101 employees. This is all good information. So please come the 29th. There is a website where we're going to need to sign up just because we're going through the program SHRM and they want to see how many people are going to show up, because if we only have 3 people show up, they're not going to send their specialists from out of town to come help us.
Right. It's kind of like, the military. It's like a fire trucks. They send everybody, but in essence, if it's a cat in the tree, they don't need to send, the entire. That's what happens anyway, because that's emergency. But in theory, you don't have to.
Exactly. So call us at the chamber, because I don't have the website in front of me because my email is not coming up at the moment. It was popped up when I walked in here, and it has disappeared.
Technology never works when you need it.
No.
It's only when you don't.
But if you call us at the chamber, 575-623-5695, we will take all of your information and we'll get you logged in ourselves. So we've got that on the 29th. We've got cap sorting on the 9th. And then, of course, we've got Roswell Invader Night on the 14th. And, of course, come by the chamber, call us. With all of this fantastic weather we've had, our phones have been kind of on and off. So if you call us and we don't answer right away, it's not because we're ignoring you. I promise. As soon as the phones come back up, leave a message. If you get the voicemail, leave a message.
Technology's being honored at the office right now.
We've got a bunch of children that are home for summer vacation that would love to answer the phone and take those messages.
Put them to work.
Absolutely.
Slave wages. Yes.
Oh, absolutely. My kids were rolling their eyes when I told them how much I was going to pay them.
Yeah, you're getting paid in experience,
and
kids.
They were like, what? And I was like, you're 12? So this is what you're getting paid.
That's right. This is called parental education time.
That's right.
And we're going to teach you, Mommy going to teach you life, how it works. So.
Well, they've gotten a lot of life lessons since I took over. And that was during COVID, because they were scrubbing toilets and washing windows and mopping. And I was like, okay, today we're going to the chamber.
Nice.
We're going to do our school till noon. And once we're done with homeschooling, guess what? It's home economics for the rest of the day.
That's the one facet my wife and I missed out. We don't have any kids, so we don't get to the stage where you get to train them to do all the chores.
Well, I have I have 3 teenage daughters, if you'd like to borrow some.
Oh, you're my designated chore doers. Come on over.
That's right.
That's right. I got a list for you. But definitely, like you said, if you have any questions or any issues, please contact us. If you don't leave a message, it'll get to you. You can also always use our social media forms to reach out. Facebook and Instagram, right?
Facebook and Instagram
are the 2 main ones.
And hopefully by the end of the week, we'll have our new website.
Good deal. And then, like I said, come by the office. And, of course, we're gearing up back to school here. If you want to get business after hours for the fall and all that kind of stuff, now's the time to reach out and start booking that stuff.
Because we're only doing 2 a month.
Yeah.
And once they're full, they're full.
And I know, generally speaking, a lot of chamber members like to have some kind of a special occasion around their business after hours, whether it's a grand opening as a new business or an anniversary thing.
Or a remodel.
Or celebrating a remodel.
Changing of the guard of some sort.
Or a new piece of equipment.
But you don't have to. No. If you just say, you know what, I've been in Roswell for a while and nobody really knows where I'm at, or I just want to have a party, let us know.
But if it's something date specific, the more time out, the better. So
absolutely.
Like if you're like,
so that way we can make sure.
Our 1 year anniversary is on September 17th. I need to have it on the 17th. It's like, well, you better tell us now. Don't wait till September to bring that.
Correct.
up.
And we typically do our business after hours on Thursdays. However, we have been known to make exceptions for those exact reasons.
Sure.
That if there is a special anniversary, a special grand opening, if all of your, special higher up management is going to be in from out of town, we will make those special arrangements. So that way, maybe the business after hours is on a Tuesday instead of a Thursday.
Sure. But either way, we accommodate work on that. But the sooner you reach out to us, the better.
Absolutely.
And all that stuff too. And then, of course, here before you know it, we'll be talking fair and all that stuff. It'll be fair season.
Oh my gosh!
Here this month with the county fairs, and then the Eastern New Mexico State Fair here. Start of fall. It's all going to be back here pretty quick. So.
My daughters are getting ready to gear back up for their competition dance schedule for next year, and we were just talking about when is Fair Day.
Yeah, it's getting into fair season. I know. I think Eddy and Chaves counties will be later this month, and
I think so.
And then usually right the end of September, 1st of October is when the Eastern New Mexico State Fair.
Yep,
will get underway.
Everything's cranking up.
Yep. So. I do. It's in my car. I don't have it on me.
And school starts super early this year, August 4th.
August 4th, school's back.
Oh, my gosh.
That's less than a month away, kids.
Yeah, it's like a month away. And, of course, my kids are like,
Uh-huh.
But, once again, I think that's due to COVID.
Couple
with
parents
stuff
just went,
is that
really?
they're trying to make sure that they can get kids back on track.
Sure.
Was my understanding. I don't know if that's necessarily.
I probably, there's probably a lot to that. Yeah, they probably added some days.
And I think the school year typically was 185.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they added 10. That was the number I heard was 10 days
God
were
bless
added,
America.
So.
This year they gave the districts, they were able to decide for themselves if they wanted to do 180 or 190. Like I know in Albuquerque, they were going to do 190 and they got a lot of pushback.
So they stopped theirs.
And so they said, never mind.
But we here in Roswell,
We're
which
doing 190.
I think it's a good thing. I
And
don't know.
they're
Why would you push
squeezing
back on
in
that?
Those extra 10 days also include Fair Day. That's considered community learning. And,
Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Martin Luther King Day, community learning. And then there's some days that are half days that will be included. And then the second half of the day is teacher development in that. So some of that's included in the calendar.
I'm okay with
days.
community learning as like Martin Luther, if actually they're doing stuff. Like Fair Day I can buy because they're going to fair.
Because those kids wouldn't be at school if you didn't give them the day off
Martin Luther King
anyway.
Jr. Day, unless you're going to programs of Martin Luther King Jr., that's not an enrichment day. That's I'm hanging out in my home.
That kid's sleeping in, watching cartoons.
Yeah,
The state's allowing that to count as a school day.
That's
for,
a bit
for
of a stretch,
community
but all
learning,
right.
Yeah.
I think.
That's a bit
And
of a
as a
stretch.
parent, that's where I get irritated sometimes because I've had this, and it's not anybody's fault necessarily other than probably admin, but my kids typically don't go to school like the last few days of school because by the time finals are done, what learning is happening the last 3 days of school because all the tests are done. You're not doing any information. You're just fulfilling those however many days, however many hours of school that they need to do for the calendar because the teachers are putting in the grades to make sure that the final grades are there. So that way you guys aren't there for an extra week after school's over doing paperwork. They're doing it those last few days, but that's just my personal mother rant.
Yeah, well, we can keep going because that'll be. I just saw the time. We better because this is a can of worms.
Gosh, yeah.
This is a can of worms that'll keep going for hours.
Yeah, call us at the chamber 575-623-5695. Cap sorting July 9th. Cox Automotive. That's this Saturday. We have the Chamber Invaders Night is Thursday, July 14th. Come to the Chamber, $8 a ticket. We almost sold out Joe Bonham Stadium last year.
All right,
so
let's
come
sell
on,
it out this year.
We want to break our record. Like Mama wants to buy some new shoes.
We'll talk more about it on the radio here, but that right around that time too is also Vitalent's Battle of the Badges.
Perfect.
Let's go. 14th, 15th, right around that same time, too. We'll get her on later on.
And if you want to know what's going on with HR, if you are a business, you need to be a part of this. Give us a call, 575-623-5695, or stop by and see us at 131 West 2nd.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate the visit as always. We'll see you here in a couple weeks. Well, I'll see you sooner, but officially in a couple weeks.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate the visit as always. We'll see you here in a couple weeks. Well, I'll see you sooner, but officially in a couple weeks.
Absolutely.
All right, it is 9:50.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. A few new details in the latest oil field death in Eddy County. Investigators said Wednesday they believe the latest incident near Angel Ranch Road and Burton, north of Carlsbad, was an accident. The body of worker, 36-year-old Jose Martin Moreno Nunez Jr., was found earlier this week. Eddy County Sheriff's Chief Deputy Matt Hutchinson said Wednesday that no criminal activity is suspected in this case. The death was at the site used for an oil and gas operation. Police in Artesia continue to investigate an armed robbery case where the clerk of an Allsup's store reportedly pursued the robber down South 1st Street. 18-year-old Audien Cazares was eventually captured by police and charged with a dozen counts ranging from aggravated assault and criminal damage to property. As the clerk pursued Cazares, police say he tried to carjack a driver near West Washington and Roselawn, but was not successful. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Yesterday, Apple offered up a global $2 million wager. The company is saying, we bet $2 million that no one, no researcher and no government can break through the iPhone's new lockdown mode. Here's what you need to know. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. Lockdown mode was developed to protect high-profile users, politicians, judges, journalists, and activists against state-sponsored hackers. It does this by turning off most preview features in iMessage and also other apps. It blocks all wired connections, preventing the phone's data from being copied. It prevents new configuration files from also being installed. And it shuts down FaceTime and all software updates. But you don't have to be a high-profile user to get lockdown mode. Apple will release it to everyone who uses an iPhone at no charge this fall. I post breaking tech news 24/7 at my website. That's commando.com. KOMANDO.com. You probably already know that there are data brokers out there selling your internet data off to companies that serve you targeted ads. But you might be surprised to learn that they're also selling your information to the Department of Homeland Security and the IRS. That's why, to mask my digital footprints, I use ExpressVPN. One of the easiest ways for brokers to aggregate data and tie it back to you is through your device's unique IP address. When you're connected to ExpressVPN, your IP address is hidden, making it much more difficult for data brokers to identify who you are. ExpressVPN also encrypts 100% of network traffic to keep your data safe from hackers on public Wi-Fi. That's why I have ExpressVPN on all my devices, my phone, computer, and even my home Wi-Fi router. Just one tap and I'm protected. It's that easy. Visit expressvpn.com/Kim right now and get 3 extra months free through my special link. That's expressvpn.com/Kim, expressvpn.com/Kim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Right around the 100-degree mark on our high today. We should be getting sunshine most of the day, but just enough moist air available for an isolated afternoon shower or thunderstorm. It'll be cloudy for the overnight hours and low 70s, and then tomorrow a slightly better chance of afternoon showers and storms. Otherwise sunny and hot with our highs near 100. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The White House said Wednesday that President Biden plans to nominate Philip Washington, the CEO of the Denver International Airport, to lead the Federal Aviation Administration. In late 2020, he served on Biden's transition, leading a team that advised the incoming administration on transportation policy. The FAA is currently led by Acting Chief Billy Nolan, a company that had performed appraisals on some of Donald Trump's most prized properties has been held in contempt of court for missing a deadline to turn over documents in the New York Attorney General's civil investigation into the former president's business practices. A Manhattan judge said late Tuesday that real estate services firm Cushman & Wakefield had shown a, quote, willful failure to comply with the subpoenas Gas prices continue to drop a little, the national average, $4.78 a gallon. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Pull! Shooters, get ready. The H.F. Sinclair Charity Freedom Clay Shoot is set for Saturday, July 16th at the Eddy County Shooting Range. Deadline to register is July 11th. 1 in 4 shooters win, with one winner drawn from each team. There's a big silent auction and fantastic prizes. A shotgun, rifles, pistols, coolers, smokers, and more. All shooters receive a gift and lunch, Friday night lights, and 5 stand shoot. Plus a cookout is optional. Register online at artesiachamber.com. All proceeds benefit local Boy Scouts and community impact programs.
Sometimes when you hit the road hits back. That's why MTA Mechanics and Tire carries major brands like Bridgestone, Cooper, and Michelin. Not only do you get top brand tires, but you also get a nationwide warranty. So wherever you are, MTA Mechanics and Tire has you covered. Stop by or let MTA come to you with their MTA Mobile Tire Shop, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. They can come to your home, office, or even the airport, and alignment is included on all sets of 4 tires. MTA Mechanics and Tires, getting you back on the road.
When I was in junior high, my favorite TV show was The A-Team. Deep down, I always wanted to be as tough as Mr. T. A line that appeared in probably every episode was this one.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Even as a 12-year-old boy, I was a planner. While other kids were dreaming of being baseball pitchers, quarterbacks, or rock stars, I was planning my next steps of where to go to grad school. I still have a plan for my life, everything arranged just right from today until I'm 82. I need to be careful about my planning, though, because James says that life is like a vapor, and what matters most in life isn't necessarily my plan, but God's will. It's not that God is against planning. He talks about it often in Scripture. What he wants me to be careful about is presuming about tomorrow. When I presume about tomorrow, I put off some things that I need to be doing today, things that align with the will of God. I have tomorrow planned out, but I don't really know what tomorrow holds. Maybe it's time to make the most of today.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:56. Got a few minutes here before we wrap up today's show, or wrap up this hour of the show, I should say. Tune in next hour. We're going to chit-chat. We'll talk about, stuff in our life, all that. So we don't have a guest schedule next hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview we had about 2 weeks ago with the folks from the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, Friends of Bitter Lake. So they're going to join us monthly now that everything is back to coming out of the COVID world. They're opening back up and wanting the public to come out and see all the cool stuff at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge there. So, and of course, their big event will be coming up in September, the Dragonfly Festival. And I know that seems like an eternity away. It's like September, it's just July. But actually here in about a month, they'll start opening up for the tours and all that, and encouraging folks to sign up to do that. It's all free, but it usually fills up pretty quick. So you might want to make sure you sign up early to make sure you get the right times and all that good stuff for the fair. But that's in September, so we got some time on that one. But yeah, we'll chit chat next hour. We got I guess we got more Einstein next hour.
More fun from the bagel place. Did you know somebody blew up the Georgia Guidestones?
Do what?
Okay, do you know what the Georgia Guidestones are?
I guess I don't.
I don't have a lot of time, but
we got about a minute and a half.
In Georgia, there's these stones. They call it America's Stonehenge. There's these stones, and they're like set up in a certain way to like capture.
So is it like Stonehenge, where they said aliens did it, or ancient people?
Well, no, this was built back in 1980, and it's got a bunch of stuff scrawled on it, and a bunch of stuff like specifically about how nature should be kept in balance, and the world population should be kept below like 500 million or 50 million or something like that.
Okay,
and basically, QAnon has for the longest time thought it was satanic, and so they've had like it out for it. They've been vandalizing it, but apparently somebody blew the thing up.
Wow!
Like destroyed it, and like in the middle of the night, and then they had to level it because it was already messed up. So yeah, the Georgia Guidestones are no more.
Wonder if it's the same people pulling down the other statues. It's the other group saying, "Yeah, you don't like my statues."
I'm not a fan of Robert E. Lee, and these Georgia Guidestones kind of leave me a little, a question or two in my mind.
I'm wondering,
so,
same people or different people?
Not possible.
I don't know.
I guess if you have access to that those kind of explosives.
I missed out on the Georgia Stones there.
It's an interesting deep dive if you ever get a chance.
Interesting. All right. Was it featured on a Ghost Adventures?
No, I saw it on some YouTube video one time. And,
I can see Zach running around these things. I can feel energy, man. Look, I'm getting sick. See?
See? Look at my hand.
It's shaking.
You're doing that. Stop it.
I feel creepy.
Quit it.
I'm Zach Baggins. I wear ironically dark shirts.
Oh, dude, I physically rolled my eyes at the Zach Baggins museum or haunted museum in Vegas.
Well, he bought like his house and all that.
Yeah.
And then he moved out, made a museum.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's you listen to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A Conservative leadership contest is in the offing now that British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has announced his resignation. He made the announcement outside number 10 Downing Street this morning, calling the PM's post the best job in the world.
Above all, I want to thank you, the British public, for the immense privilege that you have given me. And I want you to know that from now on until the new Prime Minister is in place, your interests will be served and the government of the country will be carried on.
Johnson resisted calls by his cabinet to step down in the wake of a series of ethics scandals. He finally gave in after more than 40 ministers quit his government and told him that it was time to go. Donald Trump's former White House counsel agrees to testify before the January 6th committee.
Members of the House Select Committee will be hearing from Pat Cipollone. According to a person briefed on the matter who spoke to the AP, he agreed to appear for a private transcribed interview on Friday. As Trump's top White House lawyer, Cipollone was in the West Wing on January 6, 2021, as well as for key meetings after the 2020 election. He is said to have repeatedly warned Trump and his allies against their efforts to challenge the election. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Authorities in Richmond, Virginia say an alert citizen who called the police is a hero, thwarting a planned attack on an Independence Day celebration in Virginia's capital city. 2 men said to be illegal aliens from Guatemala are in custody, and police say they seized weapons along with a lot of ammunition. Stocks are higher on Wall Street this hour. Right now, the Dow is up 221 points. The Nasdaq ahead 136. The S&P 35 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
Jailed American basketball star Brittany Griner is back in a Russian court today amid a growing chorus of calls for Washington to do more to secure her release nearly 5 months after she was arrested on drug charges. Griner was detained in February at a Moscow airport after vape canisters with cannabis oil allegedly were found in her luggage. She faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted of large-scale transportation of drugs. The first bull run in 3 years took place today in the Spanish city of Pamplona. No one was gored, but several runners did take some knocks and hard falls. Tens of thousands of people reveled in the return of one of Europe's most famous traditional events. 6 bulls charging through the streets for around 2.5 minutes without provoking too much carnage among the thousands of observers and participants cramming the course. Several runners were stomped, trampled, or shoved to the cobblestone pavement. News and analysis, townhall.com. President Biden losing a longtime aide.
Kate Bedingfield has been with Mr. Biden since his days as vice president. Her leaving at the end of next month follows recent exits of high-profile Press Secretary Jen Psaki and advisor Cedric Richmond. Bedingfield is quitting less than 6 months before the midterm elections in November, where Republicans are expected to retake the House and become the majority party in the Senate. Insiders say in recent months there's also been a number of mid- and lower-level press staffers departing for greener pastures. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
A 5-year veteran of the Detroit Police Department, he was also a husband and a father, is dead. He was shot and killed in the line of duty last night by a man who police say had been firing a gun indiscriminately. Watching Wall Street this hour, the S&P 500 index is up 31 points, the NASDAQ trading 130 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
They call it the Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday. Yeah, I hope you're having a good one.
I do. For somebody, like, in morning radio in general, I have a hard time remembering which day it is to begin with. This whole week has been a nightmare.
It has been an odd week.
I have to stop every time I say Thursday.
Yeah. Because there's a lot going on. You know, we had a 4-day week here because of 4th of July on Monday. UFO Festival, which was kind of a long, last week was kind of a, especially the back half of the week was kind of crazy for us. And so we just kind of limped into this week with a holiday week. And then I'm going to go out of town for a couple days this weekend and be back midweek next week. So I'm not going to lie. I'm like, vacation, get out of here. I'm a little bit of unwind-itis.
It's got to be kind of weird for you because I mentioned this on Tuesday, but the entirety of Roswell is in kind of like a holiday hangover this week.
Yeah.
Because we blew our celebratory load, so to speak, over the weekend with UFO Festival and with 4th of July. We just kind of limped into this week just like, where even are we?
Yeah, it's like we're supposed to do stuff now, or are we off? I don't know.
Can we just, it's like that weird week after Christmas and New Year's where you're just like, I guess now we get back to work, or... and then you're in vacation mode, so it's a weird...
I mean, I'm working and everything, but I ain't gonna lie.
No,
I'm ready for some downtime.
Yeah, exactly. I remember me 2 days before Vegas, I was just like, I believe this was my actual position for the Deuce. Just like,
Yeah.
So I get it. I totally understand. This industry in particular has a certain level of burnout that can't be fully explained to normies.
It's different. It's
when you have to be on all the time.
Yeah,
it gets a little old.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I love radio. It's easy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I ain't digging ditches. I got it pretty good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I understand that I have no cause for complaints from the perspective of my career choice.
Yeah.
But also,
yes, we are in essence joke machines, and people like come up to you and like be funny or do this or and I'm good with 90, and I understand too that because what Sean and I do, we sit here and talk and chit chat and we share our lives with you guys and for folks that listen regularly, you tend to follow and listen and you know a lot more about me than I know about you. And people forget that sometimes. And so they come up and talk and act like I know them. And I'm I'm sorry. You know me. I don't know who you are. and
I hate that.
Yeah.
I really don't like, I'm not a fan of that. It's but
there is that a bit of no matter where you go, somebody's gonna be like, yeah, that dude's a jerk. I saw him at X thing and did this, and so there's always that in the back of your mind. So
to just get away and just kind of just be for a minute, it rules.
Yeah, but not that I'm complaining or anything else. It's the job is a little different than people. Because a lot of people also think that I do a 3-hour show and then I don't know what they think I do the rest of the day. Just go home and no, I have other jobs that are part of this company.
I've sort of invited that ire upon myself by having a sign off every day on the radio, and saying that. And I've said this literally since I started in radio, that I'm going to head out the door and take my message to the streets.
Yeah,
that's like one of my sign off sayings. Mm-hmm. I don't. I very rarely take messages to the streets. It almost never happens.
Actually, what he does after the show, he's got a stack of those little pink memos papers, and he just stands on the corner and is like, Bob Smith, call your mom, and he just shoots these messages out.
That, or I go to the rooftop and just kind of make them rain.
There you go, makes it rain messages.
That's right.
Message.
Because you never know. Somebody gets posted on their window.
You never know.
Yeah.
I
should call my mom.
But yeah, I mean it's an awesome job, love it. But yeah, there's days that like anything else, like any other job, there's days that parts that aren't so hunky dory. It is what it is. But regardless, happy Thursday. Hope you're having a great day so far. I don't know. I went down a run during this last when we were playing the interview. I was on Facebook or not Facebook, Twitter, kind of just taking the temperature of how crazy people are today.
Yeah.
And
the old rectal temperature.
As I do. And I'm not proud of this.
It's always a good way to start a story.
I'm not proud of this, but I got into a weird wormhole where I saw a video of a vehicle hitting a moose.
Oh.
And the moose flew like a cartoon. And that's what made it so weird was when he hit the moose flew 8 feet, and it was cartoon-like. It almost looked not real because when the van hit him, the moose just went it just flew away. It was weird.
I laugh because we almost died on the way to Vegas because of this exact scenario.
Really?
Yes. We were literally headlights. I could see the color of the deer's eyes.
Oh, okay.
Before we swerved out
and
of the way.
missed it?
Yes.
No, this was...
maybe it was a moose. It was bigger than the Hyundai Santa Fe we were in.
Okay, it could have been an elk.
It could have been.
Yeah, I feel like you probably meant an elk.
It was big. It was a big mamma jamma.
But, yeah, this was a moose, and it was running across the street, a highway or whatever. It was a 2-lane highway, but it looked like a highway. The pavement looked a little bit more. Didn't look like someone's backyard driveway. But anyway, the moose was actually running, and then it stumbled. As the van was coming, the moose was sprinting, and it was kind of bad luck for the moose. The moose actually stumbled right when it was crossing, and the car had no way to stop, the van or whatever, and it just hit it. And I just didn't expect that reaction. The moose is like, what are they, 800,000?
They're
big.
massive. They are massive.
And it literally flew like a piece of paper. It just, and I was like, this got to be photoshopped. And sure enough, no, it's legit. I don't know, people are like, this is morbid.
Okay?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure it's not. Pretty sure it's not. But
you just see something like that happen, and then the moose just get up and run away.
I don't think it. All I saw was once the moose went flying, the video ended. But so I don't know where it landed or where.
That's a real mystery. You guys, I need some follow up to that video.
But here's what happened. Because I was because I hit the comments thinking this got to be photoshopped or something, and then I get into a wormhole of other videos of moose, deer, and various other animals flying through the air as they get hit by vehicles.
Is this what happens when I leave you alone?
Apparently. Jeez. And I'm like, why am I looking at this? But I want to see the next one.
But I don't want to stop.
No,
dude, I did the same thing yesterday. I got into a weird wormhole where I started watching videos of, and it started with, there was a fireworks display in San Diego, I believe, in 2012.
Okay.
Where every firework was set off simultaneously.
Oh, I saw several of those videos yesterday.
Yeah.
The 4th of July mishaps. Yeah.
But it got me down this wormhole of just watching every firework being set off simultaneously. It's happened a lot more often than you think.
Yeah.
It's amazing. If you ever get a chance to see it, it's just like dead silence. And then all of the chaos you've ever heard and seen.
Yeah.
A night sky, and it's daytime on the ground all of a sudden, and then just nothing.
Yeah.
But dogs and car alarms.
I saw a couple of those videos yesterday, like the one that I saw like multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And this must have happened more recently because it was shared quite often.
Right.
It looks like families kind of hanging out on a back porch or something.
Yeah, it was like I think it was like in the front because there was.
Oh, it's front because there was cars in the driveway.
Van.
Yeah, you've seen the same video.
There was a van specifically,
Mm-hmm.
and I think what happened was like one firework flew into the box of the rest of the fireworks that the block party was going to set off.
And then at first it was just a couple, and it was shooting around, and people were like, "Wow, this is crazy!" And they're ducking, and then all of a sudden, the mother lode got hit, and then you just cease to see people anymore. I don't know if they left
it's
or
just smoke and flashing lights.
and just this big bright light. Like I think you're died, and you're going like when it's that light you see right before you when you die and you're about to go somewhere. I think that's what it looked like.
You know what my big takeaway from that video was? And I'll try to find it and share it over on the 106.5 Roswell Talk FM Facebook page so everybody can enjoy it for themselves as well. There was an overwhelming array of jumping jacks in that fireworks display. And maybe it was like one of the fountains that they had was going to shoot off jumping jacks, but that's all I saw was like smoke, fire, and then like 1,000 jumping jacks just getting launched in different directions.
Well, and it appears to me...
And that's the worst firework ever, in my opinion. Sorry.
It appears to me, and this seems like the pro safety tip,
Mm-hmm.
whatever their mother lode of fireworks was located, it seemed like it was near the vehicle.
It was right behind it,
Yeah. I'm just saying, not the smartest place.
Maybe don't put it next to something with an active gas tank.
Yeah, just especially if something that shoots flame
Mm-hmm.
around, and you aren't controlling it very well. Which, let's face it, no one controls fireworks. Right? You've seen everybody. It's all they're hoping they did it right.
Semi-controlled chaos at best.
Yeah. It's usually someone that ends up shooting something at somebody by the end of the night. But anyway,
that one video, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. The one you showed me of the guy driving down the street.
Yeah, that was like terrorism. That wasn't 4th of July. This was
freedom.
Yeah, this was literally a terrorist activity. It looked like this was. This guy was, and I don't know what city it was.
Right.
It was a city, an urban population setting, and a guy's in an SUV driving down the streets, and there's someone coming out the sunroof of the SUV, and he's literally got Roman candles and things like rocket launchers, and he's just firing the crowds of people.
Shooting them into the streets.
It looks like Fallujah. He's just sitting there going.
It was a brightly colored Fallujah for sure.
I was like, and it was, and yeah, it wasn't fun.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like a terrorist attack.
Right.
It's what it looked like, except he's shooting fireworks instead of guns, and of course,
which that's
the political thing all went after that one, but it does kind of prove the point. Say what you want, your thoughts on guns and all that. So people have their opinions, but I know humanity enough to know that you take away the guns, they're going to be killing each other or something else because we're dumb people. We're dumb. We will. Why do you think people say don't touch that, and the first thing we want to do is touch it?
6
this
people
is
were
humanity.
killed today in a mass bottle rocket attack.
This is what we do, people.
At the same time, though, mass casualty with the side of ooh, ah, it puts a little flair onto it.
Yeah,
literally a flare.
But yeah, so I saw the whole world on Twitter right there. No wonder.
Mm-hmm. The real metaphor for America when you see just like the aftermath too of just like there's just a random table that doesn't belong in a yard, by the way. That's just like a table from a living room, like an end table that has just empty shell casings, and then 2 mini double shots of Yukon Jack. Just strewn about. That was a real aftermath for America.
I'm not going to lie. I hope these drone shows catch on.
Dude, it was awesome. Like, I watched it from my porch.
Yeah.
From DeBremen. I could see it from my porch. Those are great.
Well, and I don't know if you saw it, but I saw 2 or 3 stories over the 4th of July weekend on the news talking about a lot of, especially communities out west here.
Right.
Are switching over to the drone shows as opposed to fireworks. And they were picking like one town in like Montana or South Dakota, one of these rural states, more rural than even New Mexico.
Right.
And they were talking with the mayor of the community, and they were doing a drone show, and basically it was all the good points we talk about. It's like, look, these drone shows are awesome, and they kept showing the thousands of drones on the ground as they're syncing them up and all that. And he said, we're in fire country. You know, these things are dangerous and all this stuff. He goes, we would love to do fireworks stuff, but it's just too dry, too dangerous. So this is a great alternative, and the public loves it. Everyone seems to, and it sounds like the town's going to, because they're like us, it's always fire danger in July in their part of the country. And because it's dry and everything else is like it is here. And so they kind of opt for the drone show. And to be honest, I'm okay with that.
They're not cheap, sure. $60,000 for the show we had. But let me juxtapose that with how much do you think we spend on fireworks? And we have nothing to show for those at the end.
They spend easily 6 figures on fireworks shows
at least.
Yeah.
And we saved money and had a spectacular show.
And to be honest, this year's would have a 6-figure fireworks show pre-COVID would have been probably double.
Oh, easily.
$100,000 would be 200.
Now that we're in inflation
because
country.
I think I saw something that said like to ship a couple years ago for them to ship $10,000 worth of fireworks now costs $35,000 to ship the same $10,000 worth of fireworks. So putting it into perspective, it makes sense. The drone show's probably a cheaper option down there. And don't get me wrong, I love fireworks and the fireworks shows. I've seen many of fireworks shows and loved them and had a great time. But I'd also say this: technology changes things. Were you using cell phones and stuff when you were a kid? Well, some of you were, but because you're still kids. But for you know what I'm saying. Do you remember the fireworks shows when you were a child? Did they look anything like the fireworks shows of today? No, because computers run all that now. Back then, it was a couple guys with motor tubes going, all right, fire this one and fire that one.
Yeah, it was literally, I remember the dudes who did it. It was a pair of brothers back in Medill. Their names were Salty and Pepper, and I'm not making this up. And Salty only had 3 fingers. No, I'm sorry, Pepper had 3 fingers.
Pepper had 3 fingers?
Yeah.
I think most of those guys back in the day, if they had 10 fingers and 10 toes, it's just because they're new.
Right.
But anyway, we've evolved and things. So I think, for people that are like, well, that goes against America, I'm like, well.
I can look up Salty and Pepper and see what they're up to these days.
They're fiddle pickers.
See how many fingers Pepper has left?
Oh, they're fiddlers.
Personally, I think their parents are just cruel for naming them Salty and Pepper.
They work at KFC.
They're not even twins. That's the thing.
Really?
Yes. They're
like brothers?
One's like they're brothers, but one's like 2 years older.
And they look alike?
Kind of.
I mean, for brothers, or do they look like twins?
Ironically, Pepper had white hair or blonde hair, and then Salty, I can't remember exactly. He was just like, I think he just had.
How old are these guys?
Well, now they're
like
my
old.
age.
Okay, yeah. But they were like when they were doing fireworks.
Okay, so they were like my sister's age. So they would be probably in their 40s now.
Okay,
because they had just taken over, and for like the last 3 years.
So in their 20s, they were doing the fireworks.
Yeah.
Thing. Okay, I follow now. All right.
The Ballad of Salty and Pepper.
I don't know. How did they get the name Salty and Pepper?
I feel like it was their parents being cruel because Pepper was born first. Okay. And then Salty came along. I don't know if Salty's his actual name, but they always called him Salty and Pepper.
Is he like complaining a lot?
No.
Like is he a foul-mouthed hooligan?
This was Medill. He didn't have a lot to complain about.
Well, I didn't know if he's like, because one who's a foul-mouthed individual is tend to be called salty. So maybe... Was he just
maybe he was the meaner of the two?
Okay, maybe he walked in rooms and just filth and foul and foul and filth.
I feel like
guy's salty.
You screw up and name your first son Pepper, you got to come up with something to work with the rhyme scheme, and you were going to call him Paprika.
Now, is he Pepper Or like
No, it's not Peppa.
the rep group Peppa?
No, it's Pepper.
Okay.
There's a hard R.
Okay, it's just curious.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Hard
if
R.
maybe their parents are fans of Salt and Pepper, and they're like,
It could
"Ooh,
be.
baby,
Yeah, maybe they were just trying
push
to
it real
They
good."
were just trying to push it.
Maybe
push it
when
into the mainstream.
Maybe when Pepper was out and Salt was born, they're like, "Push it real good." They said, "There's Salt,"
There's
and then
salty.
Salt and Pepper came.
There you go.
I think Tanner was going to comment on that, but
Spinderella. I just said hard R. Spinderella follows shortly after.
It is 8:24. I've not played any weather or commercials or anything, so let's do that now.
Yes.
While you contemplate the sweet stylings of the fireworks / rap duo
Salt and Pepper.
Peppa and Pepper.
Ladies and gentlemen, Salt and Pepper.
Boom.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Right around the 100-degree mark on our high today. We should be getting sunshine most of the day, but just enough moist air available for an isolated afternoon shower or thunderstorm. It'll be cloudy for the overnight hours and low 70s, and then tomorrow a slightly better chance of afternoon showers and storms. Otherwise sunny and hot with our highs near 100. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 80 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 47% with winds out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. It is monsoon season, so for the next couple days, acting like we're in monsoon season. 20 to 30% chances of rain each afternoon for the next couple days with highs right around 100. That's what we got today. Yep, 20% chance of rain this afternoon, mostly sunny, highs of 100 expected, south winds 5 to 10. 20% chance of rain for tonight, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 73, southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon tomorrow, partly cloudy and hot, highs around 99 with west winds 5 to 10. Friday night, tomorrow night, 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms, partly cloudy, overnight low of 73, southeast winds 5 to 10. Saturday, during the day, a 20% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms, otherwise sunny and hot with a high of 98. And then Saturday night, no talk of rain, just partly cloudy, overnight low of 74. No talk of rain Sunday, just sunny, hot, 101. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 74 Sunday night. And then Monday when you head back to work, sunny and 103, and then the rain chances back in the forecast Monday night, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. All right, it is 26 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
When I was in junior high, my favorite TV show was The A-Team. Deep down, I always wanted to be as tough as Mr. T. A line that appeared in probably every episode was this one.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Even as a 12-year-old boy, I was a planner. While other kids were dreaming of being baseball pitchers, quarterbacks, or rock stars, I was planning my next steps of where to go to grad school. I still have a plan for my life. Everything arranged just right from today until I'm 82. I need to be careful about my planning, though, because James says that life is like a vapor, and what matters most in life isn't necessarily my plan, but God's will. It's not that God is against planning. He talks about it often in Scripture. What he wants me to be careful about is presuming about tomorrow. When I presume about tomorrow, I put off some things that I need to be doing today, things that align with the will of God. I have tomorrow planned out, but I don't really know what tomorrow holds. Maybe it's time to make the most of today.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Some things sound so good you can almost taste it. like Bluebell Strawberry Lemonade Ice Cream. Delicious strawberry ice cream swirled with lemonade sherbet and sprinkled with lemon-flavored flakes. It's better than you can imagine.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at Walmart Supercenters.
Sometimes when you hit the road hits back. That's why MTA Mechanics and Tire carries major brands like Bridgestone, Cooper, and Michelin. Not only do you get top brand tires, but you also get a nationwide warranty. So wherever you are, MTA Mechanics and Tire has you covered. Stop by or let MTA come to you with their MTA Mobile Tire Shop, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. They can come to your home, office, or even the airport, and alignment is included on all sets of 4 tires. MTA Mechanics and Tires, getting you back on the road.
Martine's Capital Cafe in Roswell offers authentic and highly rated New Mexico food. Explore their amazing menu featuring huevos rancheros or asado with eggs or their green chili stew. And you can't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger, all made from scratch using their finest and freshest ingredients. Open for carryout with curbside delivery or limited dine-in. Just call ahead 624-2111. Martine's Capital Cafe, always pleasing the most refined palate. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th in Roswell.
Pull! Shooters, get ready. The H.F. Sinclair Charity Freedom Clay Shoot is set for Saturday, July 16th at the Eddy County Shooting Range. Deadline to register is July 11th. 1 in 4 shooters win, with 1 winner drawn from each team. There's a big silent auction and fantastic prizes. A shotgun, rifles, pistols, coolers, smokers, and more. All shooters receive a gift and lunch, Friday night lights, and 5 stand shoot. Plus a cookout is optional. Register online at artesiachamber.com. All proceeds benefit local Boy Scouts and community impact programs.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard, aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:31. So, a couple things I want to put on your radar real quick. The Lady Coyotes are having a soccer camp. That is coming up here. Where is the date? I'm looking for it. There it is, July 18th and 19th. This is for girls and boys ages 5 through 13. Cost per camper is $50. And then it's if you have 2 or more siblings, just $40 each.
Nice.
The camp features skills and ball techniques, footwork exercises, strategy and teamwork exercises, fun games, and trial matches, and water fun on day 2 of the camp. Each camper will receive free breakfast and lunch, a T-shirt, certificate, and water bottle. Registration time will be between 7:30 and 8:30, and the camp time will be 8:30 to 11:30. Again, this will be July 18th and 19th. It will be at the RHS girls soccer field, which is 500 West Hobbs, if you need to put it into your GPSers there. And if you have any questions, you can shoot an email to roswellgirlssoccer.inc@gmail.com. But again, that camp is for boys and girls 5 through 13, July 18th and 19th. They are put on by the Lady Coyote soccer team.
If you want your skills to pay the bills, go to the camp.
There you go. Let's see. And then coming up here this weekend, Sunday, or Monday. What's July 11th?
Monday.
It's
my daughter's birthday.
There you go. It's Monday. Learn to dance and have fun doing it. Bob Power is going to be teaching dance at Westminster Presbyterian Church Fellowship Hall at 2801 West 4th Street starting this Monday, July 11th. He's going to be doing it from 6 to 7:30. He's going to be teaching 8 dances in 6 weeks of class, and the cost will be $35 per person. And
do you think he does it Fosse style?
Oh.
Like with the big stick? 5, 6, 7, 8, plie, plie. You're not listening, people.
Isn't that how you learn to dance?
I just picture Bob Power going full Fosse.
Isn't that how you learn to dance? I don't know. I don't know how to dance.
Swing to your partner, do-si-do.
I have 0 dance skills, so I don't know. So I hope so.
You got to hope that Bob Power goes full Fosse. People just aren't getting the techniques enough, He's like,
all I know is
he's just sitting there on the side, just like, all right, take 5, people. I'm not sure why I'm even doing this lisp.
It's because we all watched The Birdcage.
Right.
We saw the Fosse, so we all just assumed that's the world. Yeah.
You're not listening to the beat, people. I didn't know I did such a good Fosse. Dang.
By the way, Birdcage, I love that movie.
Highly underrated as a movie.
I would say top 10 or 15 movies I like. Birdcage is in
I
that
was not like there's certain movies in life that you watch that you don't really choose. That was one of those movies because it was my my kid's mom's like one of her favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
First Wives Club is another one of those.
I have not seen First Wives Club.
You shouldn't.
And I'm proud to say that.
It's one of those, it's like you just randomly walk in on like a Tuesday. It's like, what are you watching? First Wives Club. All right. What are you watching? Birdcage. I guess I'm watching this now.
Yeah. A Birdcage makes me laugh.
It's great. It's a great movie. I mean, Nathan Lane and Robin Williams together are a fantastic duo.
Yeah. And to be honest, even Ally McBeal makes me laugh in that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I forgot Calissa Flockhart was in that movie.
Flockhart, yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember her real name. I was like, Ally McBeal.
Ally McBeal.
Is she still married to Harrison Ford? Or did they get divorced?
Google? I don't know. I mean,
I know that her and Harrison Ford were married, but I didn't know if
has
that
she done
stayed
anything
together.
else with her career, honestly?
Well, if she's married to Harrison Ford,
Well, yeah, you
they
don't
probably
have to.
just did a family thing, Harrison's not exactly a young chicken, and she's probably in her close to 50 now, I'm thinking, or in her 50s.
Let's see. Calissa Flockhart, yeah, still married since 2010.
How old is she? Do they have like a day?
She is 57 years young.
57. Oh, she's older than I thought. I was thinking she was like 51, 52. So
she still looks like exactly the same.
Yeah, she kind of is.
It's almost ridiculous.
Ageless a little bit. She kind of.
Jiminy Christmas. That's
By the way, Harrison Ford, what is he in his 80s?
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah.
Look, it looks like Grandpa hanging out with his granddaughter.
It does look like
it.
It looks like college daughter and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does. How recent is that pick, though?
Oh, I don't know. That's
was that Ally McBeal 20 years ago, or is that?
I mean, well, Harrison Ford's been doing the whole full beard lately thing, so I think this might actually be more current.
Okay.
And she's still, I mean,
she still looks young, svelte,
fantastic.
She does look more like an adult in that picture, but yeah,
a little bit. But I mean, like, not a wrinkle one. And granted, that's just good plastic surgery, I know. But man, plastic surgery is getting so much better these days.
Well, and they're Hollywood elite.
Yeah, if you have the money to pay. But it's like, you look at like Joan Rivers. She had more money than God, and she still ended up looking pretty bizarre with the plastic surgery she got.
Yeah, well, I don't care how good plastic surgery is or the techniques or technology. There's still a thing is too much of it.
Sure.
And I think regardless, like you said, I think she just went too far.
But one could
because
argue,
that's the problem with
if you find a plastic surgeon who's really good at what they do, is there too much?
Yes.
Because I think too much bad plastic surgery is absolutely a thing.
I think it's either way. It's bad because
too much good plastic surgery, I feel like you get a Kardashian.
Well, think about this. How many times you beat out dents in cars and things? Like after a while, it doesn't come back the same.
Yeah, fair enough.
You keep doing that, it's going to keep weakening the material. It's going to keep. I think you're doing the same thing to your face, basically, is what you're doing.
I literally,
and then when people like Joan Rivers, I think had that so bad self-imaging. I think people that do this, that's their problem, is their mental health.
Oh, absolutely.
Self-imaging is off the charts bad.
What's her Spencer Pratt's like wife? I can't think of her name offhand. They were famous from like reality show, but she did like 10 plastic surgery procedures on her face in like one day,
Yeah.
and went from a relatively attractive woman to just what in God's name did you do?
Yeah.
Like she put lip filler in. It was just weird.
I've seen more people do that where they get, especially women that are in their 40s and that transitional period where maybe they're starting menopause or, in that 40s, 50s area where they, start to see changes, that's when you start seeing more, and it's unfortunate because there's some women that don't need it at all, but there's a wrinkle there or something that's just driving nuts, and they end up puffing up the lips or whatever it is, and it doesn't look natural.
No.
I mean, very few of them do, and unfortunately, we live in a society where bigger's better, and bigger, the bigger the butt, the bigger the lips, the bigger the better, and that's not true.
I will say
it's really not true.
I will say this: there's only been like 2 times in my entire adult life that I've legitimately thought I kind of want to get a procedure done. And one of those moments was yesterday. I was sitting in my car without air conditioning, drenched with sweat, thinking there's a Botox procedure you can get that can prevent you from sweating.
Yes, there is.
I thought about it. I was like, I wonder if I just want to like Botox myself to where I just don't sweat, because I hate sweating. I hate the feeling of sweating. I can't stand it.
Well, let me ask this. I'm nervous about those because that is your body trying to cool you off.
Right.
If you stop your body from doing that, what happens?
Well,
you just burst into flames.
You just get hot, but then you find
or
ways
is it
to
going to
cool
start
yourself
leaking
off.
out of your ears? Because all that moisture is going to go somewhere.
I don't
and
know,
if it can't come out of your arms or armpits or wherever it designatedly comes out more, where's it coming out? You're going to start, like, my head sweats.
Right.
And that's one that always gets me, and usually it's food related. Usually if I eat spicy food or something, then my head gets, like, the top of my head gets hot and sweaty.
This is something, and I haven't experienced this ever until maybe the last, 6 months. I'm starting to sweat under my mustache, which drives me nuts.
Little soup saver there.
It's I've never had that happen to me before, but it's like a particularly hot day. I'm like, I'm sweating under my mustache.
Yeah.
The heck? It's like then I realize I have a sweater on my upper lip, but yeah, it's just I've never had that experience before 6 months ago.
And as I've gotten older, I've evolved in my sweating. If that makes sense.
It does.
Like when I was younger and stuff.
Conversation.
I know, but you know what though? All of us do this.
Yeah.
All of us deal with this. We all deal with this in some way, shape, or form.
It's true.
So we can all relate. So in my younger days, I used to get mad armpit. I'd put the 24-hour whatever, but it would still sweat through the t-shirt kind of thing, and it was always embarrassing. But as I've gotten older, now granted I'm not as physical as I was, but still, I didn't even do physical things. I'd just be standing there and start sweating. You know what I mean? And now I don't do that. That's evolved. My feet,
really,
weirdly enough, are an opposite too. Like when I was younger and all that, you wear shoes without socks. That's disgusting. Those shoes are going to smell like someone died in there.
Right.
I'm not saying my shoes come out smelling like rainbows,
but you don't have that
as I
problem.
evolved, it's not. Now, if I wear a pair of shoes 24/7 all the time without socks, they're going to be a little gamey. But
sure,
I can now wear them half a day or go run around and stuff. I take them off and it doesn't stink out the room.
That's amazing.
It is.
That
I don't
sounds
sweat
like a
as much.
Superpower. I'll be honest.
I don't sweat as much. Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah. But my top of my head sweats more now. Like that was a new thing. Like I don't remember eating foods, like even like mustard sometimes. I'll eat like a hot dog with mustard. Next thing you know, I'm getting sweat on my head.
Wow.
And it's very weird. But so it's moved a little bit. Now, ironically,
there's a little tang in that mayonnaise.
Like the sweat, the hair has done the same thing. Whereas I'm losing hair here, I'm gaining hair in ears and nose.
Right.
And in weird places on the back, they just start showing up all of them. It's like, I didn't have hair on my... Now it's like, there's a little, not a tuft, but like a colony of little hairs that kind of showed up. And you're just like, what the heck is this?
My theory, facial hair only grows at a certain height. And once you've advanced past that height, it just continues growing at that height, just in different places. So now it's ears and nose. And in such a thick, tuft that... I don't even know what to do with it half the time.
Yeah.
I wish I could grow hair that thick on my head. That'd be fantastic.
We're going to do news in a break here in a minute. But before we do that, I got to get this story out because we're talking about nose hairs.
Right.
I saw a gentleman one time, just a couple years ago, and a nice guy, pleasant. I don't know him. I was talking with him. I had maybe a 5-minute conversation with this individual.
Okay.
Very nice guy, pleasant conversation. But the entire time I'm conversing with this man, he's got a goatee.
Okay.
He's got nose hair. He's got so much nose hair. The nose hair is now incorporated into the mustache.
Wow.
It was literally like coming out of the nose and melding into the hair of
You got me
mustache.
super self-conscious. I'm about to check. I'm just like, let me just make sure here real quick. Hang on.
And
all right, we're good.
And I'm not gonna lie, that has haunted me for years.
That's a lot to take on. I understand.
The man's nose. I was like, is that a fashion choice? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out. Does he understand that's nose hair? Is this a fashion choice? I don't know.
What you're saying is his nose and upper lip was the Liam Lewis of facial hairstyles. That's like, incredibly inside baseball.
I think he should wax it. But I just had to share that because and to this day, when I'm doing my nose hair check and I'm in the mirror, I'm like, all right, it's not incorporated in my mustache, is it? And I've never seen it. It was the hair was almost different because like nose hair is coarse, hard.
It's thick.
It blended like it was
like he would brushed it in or something.
That's why I'm confused.
He just fermented even.
It almost looks like he meant to do it that way, and that's what I'm confused.
You kind of feel like maybe he did.
Maybe he did. Maybe he said, I'm tired of pulling or cutting these jobbers. I'm just going to make them part of my stash and
you
move
reach
on
a point
about
in your
my
life
day.
where you're like, well, this is just going to happen. I'm just going to go gently into that good night, I guess.
Of course, I wonder, like at night when he sleeps, like the cartoons, the Looney Tunes, like when he goes, snores and those little hairs, like. Yeah, I think.
By the way, this portion of the program brought to you by Manscaped. Enter code Mornings with Mike Winters at manscaped.com for 40% off and a free pair of boxers.
If I see a run on nose trimmers at various big box stores today, I'm going to know what happened.
I never thought. This is how I know I'm getting old. I've had actual thoughts over the last 6 months. I need to get an ear and nose hair trimmer.
Yeah.
Like, what went wrong?
I got one. I've had one for years.
It was never a problem.
Yeah. I actually got one when I was doing like the beard and stuff.
I used to have one, but I never used it.
You know what, though? I use it on occasion. I use it more for the ear because I'll get like on the rim of the ear. That's where I get these weird little stray hairs. The nose jobbers I tend to pick off in gross places like I'll be in public.
Yeah.
And people are like, what are you doing? And I just start, hey, there's a nose hair. Rank. And I do that because I'm a gross person.
Yeah.
That's
we're all savages.
But on occasion, I get the nose trimmer out and I'm like, it's like getting ready for the day. And I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I should run that nose trimmer up through there.
And then you put that bad boy in there and you're like, dear God, there's a forest in there. You have no idea. It's like,
yeah, you hear, I was like,
what's going on in there?
Am I cutting booger or hair? What am I cutting here?
Oh, this show's off the rails.
And on that note, we're going to pause for news and a quick break. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Please come back. We'll change the subject, I promise.
Please clap.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. A few new details in the latest oil field death in Eddy County. Investigators said Wednesday they believe the latest incident near Angel Ranch Road and Burton, north of Carlsbad, was an accident. The body of worker, 36-year-old Jose Martin Moreno Nunez Jr., was found earlier this week. Eddy County Sheriff's Chief Deputy Matt Hutchinson said Wednesday that no criminal activity is suspected in this case. The death was at the site used for an oil and gas operation. Police in Artesia continue to investigate an armed robbery case where the clerk of an Allsup's store reportedly pursued the Claudian Cazares was eventually captured by police and charged with a dozen counts ranging from aggravated assault and criminal damage to property. As the clerk pursued Cazares, police say he tried to carjack a driver near West Washington and Roselawn, but was not successful. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Right around the 100-degree mark on our high today. We should be getting sunshine most of the day, but just enough moist air available for an isolated afternoon shower or thunderstorm. It'll be cloudy for the overnight hours and low 70s, and then tomorrow a slightly better chance of afternoon showers and storms, otherwise sunny and hot with our highs near 100. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. The White House said Wednesday that President Biden plans to nominate Philip Washington, the CEO of the Denver International Airport, to lead the Federal Aviation Administration. In late 2020, he served on Biden's transition, leading a team that advised the incoming administration on transportation policy. The FAA is currently led by Acting Chief Billy Nolan, a company that had performed appraisals on some of Donald Trump's most prized properties has been held in contempt of court for missing a deadline to turn over documents in the New York Attorney General's civil investigation into the former president's business practices. A Manhattan judge said late Tuesday that real estate services firm Cushman & Wakefield had shown a, quote, willful failure to comply with the subpoenas. Gas prices continue to drop a little, the national average, $4.78 a gallon. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Sometimes when you hit the road hits back. That's why MTA Mechanics and Tire carries major brands like Bridgestone, Cooper, and Michelin. Not only do you get top brand tires, but you also get a nationwide warranty. So wherever you are, MTA Mechanics and Tire has you covered. Stop by or let MTA come to you with their MTA Mobile Tire Shop, covering Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia. They can come to your home, office, or even the airport, and alignment is included on all sets of 4 tires. MTA Mechanics and Tires, getting you back on the road.
On June 23, 1937, Central Valley Electric Cooperative was incorporated as the first rural electric cooperative in New Mexico. 85 years later, members of CVE still benefit from the hard work and foresight of yesterday's co-op pioneers. Co-op electricity makes barns and basements brighter, homes more comfortable, and businesses more competitive. CVE members have seen many changes over the years, but one thing hasn't changed: our dedication to providing you safe, reliable, and affordable power. CVE, proud to celebrate 85 years of powering our members' lives.
Well, the biting bugs and the ferocious flyers are out in force, and if you don't take care of them now, you'll be swatting and scratching all summer. Makes me itchy just thinking about it. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether it's keeping the fleas and ticks off your animals or keeping the flies and mosquitoes away from your barbecue, you gotta use the right stuff, and you gotta do it at the right time. So come see us now at Roswell Seed Company, and don't let the bugs tick you off. Get it? Tick.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:52. Hey, I think I can mention this on the radio. I think it's going to be a done deal, but I don't know if it's 100% done deal yet. But from everything I'm gathering, what I learned yesterday and this morning, I think it's like 99% happening. But next Wednesday, that'll be actually my first day back from going out of town for a couple days. But next Wednesday, the Mornings with Mike Winters morning show here will be on the road. We're going to be doing the show on the beautiful New Mexico Military Institute campus in the newly renovated Cahoon Armory, which looks beautiful. Gene Dow, the big guy, he was there yesterday with Jeff Gum, and they're having the open house for the grand open house for the new Cahoon Armory there at the NMMI campus next Wednesday. And so it looks like the plan's going to be, we're going to be doing the morning show out at the Cahoon Armory. If you want to get a little preview of what it looks like on our 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook page there on the wall, you'll find about half dozen pics that Gene put of the Cahoon Armory there on our Facebook page. But I'm pretty sure it's like 99% happening. Next Wednesday, we'll be doing the show out at the Cahoon Armory there. So
it's infuriating.
What's
There's
that?
not a single gun in that entire armory.
It's a gym.
It's a gym.
Yeah.
It's a gym, not an armory.
Go to the weight room. You'll find all kinds of guns in there.
I just feel like in an apocalypse scenario, I'm going to run to the one armory that's actually a gym. Well, I guess I got basketball now.
Hey, is there anybody named Jim and they spell it G-Y-M?
No.
I wish there was.
I really wish there was.
There was a guy named Jim.
Hey,
girl.
Jim.
Yeah.
Is that
Jim.
short for anything? Yeah, Jimothy. G-Y-M-O-T-H-Y.
Gymnasium Jones, please report to the office. Jim Jones.
My parents sucked. They named me Jim. It's short for gymnasium.
But yes, so it looks like we'll be out there next week.
There's a
for that.
James Naismith. He invented basketball.
Yes. Mm-hmm. In a gym?
It's close. Yeah. In a jam. He called it a jam. That's what he did.
Or I'm going to open a gymnasium and spell it J-I-M Nasium.
Yes. The Gymnasium Memorial Gymnasium.
And all we sell is nose plugs for guys named Jim.
Yeah. It's a gymnasium.
We just opened a new allergy section. Come over here and check out our nasal sprays.
Check out our selection of Zyrtex.
But that should be fun. It looks. By the way, those pics. Check out those pics.
It's beautiful.
The armory remodel looks gorgeous.
Yeah, they really did knock it up a notch.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of gorgeous.
Thank you.
This annoys me. There is. I think it's for charcoal or it's something to do with grilling. I'm not sure if it's a grill or a charcoal or meat.
I feel like I'm going to need to pull my phone out for this.
Product. It might be a meat product.
Okay.
Like Oscar Mayer or something. But in their commercial, they have hired, I'm guessing, a TikTok star.
Okay.
And he's a man that I guess does angry rants on TikTok.
Is he a bigger fella?
Yes. And but in the commercial, he just looks at the foods at various grills and goes, gorgeous, gorgeous, and then moves on. And that's his whole shtick. But I don't know, like, if he does more than that on his TikTok. But in this said commercial for whatever grilling product it is, I don't remember.
I really wish you were bringing more to the table.
It's a guy that just goes, gorgeous, gorgeous. And that's it. And they're like, we brought on TikTok star, blah, 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 to give his opinions on whatever the product is.
Here's the problem with...
And he just goes, gorgeous, gorgeous.
Here's the problem with TikTok stars. There's too many of them.
Yeah.
I can't keep
Everybody thinks they're famous now, and I don't get that. It's like everybody, it's back to the other day when I was talking about people in the younger generations don't look at themselves as people anymore. They look at them as brands and all this. You know, I think it goes on to that somewhat.
Well, because there's even like a few TikTok, I guess you can call them TikTokers that I've sort of like semi-followed that I know about. And it's like, well, they're famous to me, but you wouldn't know who they were from Mary.
You know what TikTok's doing? When we were kids, when you were growing up and you have your circle of friends and you're doing, growing up, living your life, doing your thing, experiencing things and all that, there's always somebody in your group of friends that's kind of the funny person or the person that says or has a catchphrase. So they're known for certain things, and things like that.
It was me, but yeah.
I too had swam in some of those lanes, but
that's why we do what we do for a living.
Now that there's the social media world, when people say you should be a comedian or you should be fun, that's so funny, and so now they think that that's legit.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying all of them. Some of them are. Some of them are like, yeah, that the person's funny skills, but there's so many that think they can. They think they're funny. They think they have a joke, and so they like. I don't know how many TikTok videos I've seen. People like, oh, this is so funny. I'm like, no, it's not. That's just something we did all the time 10 years ago. We act like that's new,
right?
But it's just, and so we gotta weed through a lot of that to find these nuggets. And I'm sorry, maybe this gorgeous guy is a genius. I don't know, but if he's famous for walking around and looking at things and saying gorgeous, and he's making a living doing that, I have a bit of a problem with that.
The only reason when you said TikTok, I thought it was this other guy, this other TikToker I watch, and literally his whole thing, and this infuriates me, his whole thing is he watches other people's TikToks of their food creations, and the whole time he's just sitting there like, oh, they're going to put cheese on, oh my God, they put cheese.
Okay, I've seen similar ones.
I'm never going to be a skinny man. Like that guy I watch.
Okay. Well, there's another one where the guy, I don't even think talks. He just like shakes his head no and like... And then he does something simple, but he doesn't talk. It's very Mr. Bean-like.
Is that the?
I don't know his name.
Is that the? I think he's African. The guy that goes.
Maybe, I don't know. I've never heard him talk.
Yeah.
I
that
guy
doesn't talk
pictures. Either. But anyway, we got to go. It's news here. We're gonna play our interview with the Friends of Bitter Lake next hour. So stay tuned for that. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. We'll be back.
Clyde Lewis and Ground Zero is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM. KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. He's quitting what he calls the best job in the world. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson announcing his resignation amid numerous cabinet resignations and scandals.
It is clearly now the will of the Parliamentary Conservative Party that there should be a new leader of that party and therefore a new Prime Minister. And I've agreed with Sir Graham Brady, the chairman of our backbench MPs, that the process of choosing that new leader should begin now.
The BBC's Rob Watson in London.
I think it must have been very difficult for him to face up to the fact that his party had deserted him. This is a job that he had wanted all his life, and the real insight into why he found it so difficult to make this decision was where he said that it was eccentric. He thought to change government, but he was regretted that he'd failed to persuade his colleagues that they should stick with him.
Johnson urging his party and country to move on, focusing on the UK's struggling economy and Russia's war in Ukraine. President Biden today will be presenting the nation's highest civilian honor to 17 people, 2 Republican lawmakers among them.
Among those receiving the Medal of Freedom will be gymnast Simone Biles, actor Denzel Washington, and the late Senator John McCain. The Arizona Republican served with Mr. Biden in the Senate. The president will also honor retired GOP Senator Alan Simpson of Wyoming. Other recipients include the New York nurse who received the first COVID-19 vaccination and the late Apple co-founder Steve Jobs.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. Russian news agencies report jailed American basketball star Brittany Griner, standing trial in Moscow, has pleaded guilty to drug possession and smuggling charges, faces up to 10 years in prison if convicted of large-scale transportation of drugs, next court appearance in a week. The Dow's up 258 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow your wealth is dependent upon 2 factors: taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
Public health officials in China's capital issuing a mandate. It requires people to show proof of COVID-19 vaccination before they can enter some public spaces like gyms, museums, and libraries. The sudden policy announcement and its impact on daily life generating concern among city residents. The health app that shows a person's latest PCR test results has been updated to make it easier to also access their vaccination status, according to a spokeswoman for Beijing's Municipal Health Commission. The list of public places requiring vaccination does not include restaurants and offices. The mandate will take effect on Monday, with exceptions available only to those who cannot be vaccinated for health reasons. More than 23 million people in Beijing have been vaccinated, which, if it's accurate, would cover the city's entire population and then some. News and analysis at townhall.com. He could meet the same fate as his counterpart in San Francisco. Efforts to recall Los Angeles County's far-left prosecutor take a big step forward.
On Wednesday, LA residents said they submitted more than enough petition signatures to qualify for an election to recall George Soros-funded district attorney George Gascon, who they say is responsible for the crime wave in Los Angeles County. Tim Lineberger, a spokesperson for the recall campaign, said they'll succeed if they can get the measure before voters. If certified, the election would be the latest in a string of recalls in California involving far-left officials. Tasha Stevens reporting.
After allegedly attacking a July 4th parade in Highland Park, Illinois, police say Robert Cremo III considered attacking an event in Madison, Wisconsin, but decided against it and returned to Illinois, where he was captured. Police also say Cremo has confessed to the deadly shooting spree in Highland Park. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
Feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican
broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Happy July 7th.
Nice.
Which means happy birthday to our sales manager, Thomas Beard.
Oh!
Yeah.
Was he born on 7/7?
He is July 7th. Facebook reminded me, but I knew it was the 7th. I was like, oh, today's the 7th? Sure enough is. It's Thomas's birthday.
That's awesome.
Your mic's on. You don't have to yell.
I don't have the mic. Everybody's invited to his house.
Oh, there you go. Maybe you shouldn't be on mic then.
Just playing.
Well, if you know the address, it's kind of an open invite anyways.
That's right.
That's sort of how his house works.
Most people do. But
that's awesome.
But if you know a one Thomas Beard and you see a one Thomas Beard out and about today, wish the man a happy birthday.
Here's another fun fact for you. Today, if you decided to take the plunge and make the ultimate gamble and say, for example, get married 15 years ago today, it would have been 7707.
Ooh.
Today was your 15th anniversary.
I'm sure there's some people that did that for that.
No, the question was posed on my show prep this morning. How many of you made it? Who's still together?
I wonder what day of the week that fell on. 7707.
Let's find out. I always thought it was kind of cool. My daughter lucked out and was born with all lucky numbers. Well, sort of lucky numbers, 7, 11, 13.
See, there was a gentleman I met years ago. He was autistic, and I would really use him right now because one of his superpowers.
He just knew days.
Was you could give him a date, and didn't matter what the date was. He could tell you the day of the week. Like I think he could tell you like weather conditions. There was like a whole bunch of information he could tell you.
It was a Saturday.
Yeah, but that's what. And I remember quizzing him. It was years ago. It was maybe I don't remember. Maybe I don't remember the gentleman's name, but he was a young man, and I kept saying, "All right, maybe it was Randy." His name was Randy. I don't remember. Like, hey, Randy, what? Tell me about July 14th, 1942. And he'd be like, July 14th, 1942. That would have been a Saturday. The weather was clear that day, and he was just rattled off all this information about it. And he was autistic, but he.
And I
it
could
was
ask
amazing
him,
skill.
Randy,
Yeah.
what day did we meet?
Oh yeah, and he'll tell you.
He will.
Wow.
He'd tell you exactly.
That's insane.
It's impressive.
I'm trying to. I think my daughter was born on a Tuesday. I guess I could check that, but
Okay.
I think it was a Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it was a weekday. I don't want to say anything with any certainty when I have a calendar in front of me. Let's see. 20,
and this is my weak area. 13. I'm bad at remembering dates and like I know events and things, but like when like the time frame of when it happened or what I was doing, I don't remember that kind of stuff. I don't. It doesn't register in my brain.
I remember the shirt I was wearing when my daughter was born.
Really?
Weirdly, yes. It was for another station, for another radio station that I shall not mention.
I was hoping it'd be like a Got Milk shirt or something.
Dude, it was me in 2013. My entire closet was station T-shirts and like 2 pairs of jeans.
Yeah. What year was that?
2013.
Oh yeah, I was past the mixed days. So you're probably in
no,
your
this was hot in my
your hot 97 days.
I wasn't going to say the name, but sure.
Doesn't matter.
How dare you, sir?
I love how people get all. I'm like. Whatever.
Yeah, that was knee deep in my hot 97
We all know
days.
what we're talking about, right? Why just not say it? We all get all like...
Yeah, but you never hear Coke say Pepsi, all right?
Yeah. I'm not that threatened in my life that if I utter the name of other people, it's going to lose my thing.
Fair enough.
I'm not that person.
In my direct competition, I was wearing a 104.7 KMOU T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. The cool one with the cow logo, which actually I saw on
We didn't have to do
night.
an advertisement for it. Just say
you started it! You started this! You opened the floodgates!
He's like, oh, they play this song from the 70s, 80s, 90s.
This is like that. This is like that scene in Vegas Vacation at the dam. I'm just sitting here with a piece of gum trying to cover up the leak, and another one springs up over here.
And this is the web I weave every single day.
Every day.
Hey, I got a long interview to play, so we better wrap this up. The week before last, we had the folks from Friends of Bitter Lake join us, and they are going to start coming on monthly with us, but they want to really let the world know that they're fully open now. They want the public to come out and experience all the cool things happening out of Bitter Lake.
The lake has never been bitterer.
It's as bitter as can be.
Bitter as it's ever been.
Come and have bitters.
Enjoy our bitterness.
Don't be bitter. Come to Bitter Lake.
That's right.
So we're going to play that here in just a second. Before we do any of that, though, let's take a look at your weather. Brought to you by Bob Reed Pest Control.
Ooh.
I was about to hit you with
a stickiness, but yeah.
No, this is sponsored. It's got a commercial and everything. Here you go. Weather is brought to you by Bob Reed Pest Control. Bob Reed Pest Control. Protect your home from pests that invade. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today. 575-623-5344.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Right around the 100-degree mark on our high today. We should be getting sunshine most of the day, but just enough moist air available for an isolated afternoon shower or thunderstorm. It'll be cloudy for the overnight hours and low 70s, and then tomorrow a slightly better chance of afternoon showers and storms. Otherwise sunny and hot with our highs near 100. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 85 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 39%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 7 miles per hour. It's monsoon season, so we're 20% chance of rain, 30% chance of rain. Next couple afternoons, sunny, hot, highs right around 100. That's what we're looking at today, tomorrow. 20% officially, 100 are high. With winds out of the south 5 to 10 today. Tonight, 20% chance of rain, mostly cloudy, 73 for the overnight lows, southwest winds 5 to 10. Friday, a 30% chance of rain, otherwise mostly sunny. Highs near 99, west winds 5 to 10. 20% chance of rain tomorrow night. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 73, southeast winds 5 to 10. Saturday, daytime or the afternoon, there's a 20% chance of showers. Otherwise, mostly sunny, highs of 98 with north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then after that, rain chances, no talk of rain for Saturday night, just partly cloudy, 74. Sunday, no talk of rain, just sunny, hot, 101. Partly cloudy Sunday night, 74. Monday, sunny, hot, 103. And then the monsoon rain chances back in the forecast beginning Monday night. All right, it is 9:13. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with the folks from Friends of Bitter Lake. That's up next. Don't go away.
The E&MU Roswell Pool is open for summer 2022, and it's open 7 days a week from 10 to 11 every day for lap swimming and from 11 to 5 for open swim. Just $5 for the whole day. Once you pay, you can stay all day. With full concession stand, lots of covered seating, and more. Swim passes are available, and E&MUR students get in half off. Book the pool for your next party or get-together and run the pool from 6 to 10 p.m. For information and reservations, call 575-624-7305. That's 575-624-7305.
When I was in junior high, my favorite TV show was The A-Team. Deep down, I always wanted to be as tough as Mr. T. A line that appeared in probably every episode was this one.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Even as a 12-year-old boy, I was a planner. While other kids were dreaming of being baseball pitchers, quarterbacks, or rock stars, I was planning my next steps of where to go to grad school. I still have a plan for my life. Everything arranged just right from today until I'm 82. I need to be careful about my planning, though, because James says that life is like a vapor, and what matters most in life isn't necessarily my plan, but God's will. It's not that God is against planning. He talks about it often in Scripture. What he wants me to be careful about is presuming about tomorrow. When I presume about tomorrow, I put off some things that I need to be doing today, things that align with the will of God. I have tomorrow planned out, but I don't really know what tomorrow holds. Maybe it's time to make the most of today.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
Joining us in studio this morning from Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. Of course, Don Weld back with us as well. And Randy Young, he brought Randy with him this morning to keep him honest, I think.
Yeah.
That's your job?
That's the job today.
Keep Don out of trouble.
That's exactly right.
Well, you have a Herculean task, sir. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Good morning, guys. How y'all doing today?
Doing good. How you doing, Mike?
Doing great. And, of course, we set up, we're Bitter Lake, Friends of Bitter Lake. We're going to be joining us each month now here on the radio show. Mm-hmm. And that's because we want you to come back out to Bitter Lake. Bitter Lake is, now that we're out of the COVID world, things are opening back up, and the events that we all know and love that are kind of synonymous with Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge are back on. And so we want to get people to come on out and see the beauty that is the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
That's right. Yeah.
It's a pun, but not a pun. It literally is an oasis in your backyard.
It is.
It's literally just like the one you used to see in cartoons with Bugs Bunny's going through the desert and hits that clump of trees and water. There you go. It's right there. It's a beautiful. Of course, we joke about it. It's kind of, for us, it's a beautiful wildlife refuge. For many of our migratory animals, it's a pilot flying jay, basically.
There you go.
Many of them.
That's exactly right.
There you go. That's the way. Good way to look at
it. That's kind of what it is. But we would love to get people to come and spend some time out here. We've got. Of course, I know it's the other side of summer with the Dragonfly Festival, but now's the time to start putting those on your calendars. Before you know it, the tour dates and everything are going to be up there, and you're going to be able to start reserving your tour dates and all that.
August 1st.
Yeah, so that's coming up. That's just we're a month or so away from all of that to happen here. So, in the meantime, come and see what you missed the last couple of years out of Bitter Lake here. It's and I know during this time, you guys have done a couple of service projects that were probably stuff you wanted to do over time, but just life happened and you don't get resources or time or whatever. And then COVID kind of created some time and resources to do some of those things.
Right.
So.
Yep. Yeah. We got a lot of things worked on. The staff portion of the Better Lake has been out there working very hard. We've got a new bird blind that's opened now. We opened that up 2 months ago, I think it was.
And it's a hit.
It is, yeah. Everybody's liking that. And we got some new plants and watering done on the butterfly trail.
Great.
And I got my butterfly thing on today.
Nice. That's a pretty cool shirt.
Yeah, this is the worm part. On the back is the butterfly.
Okay. I was like, it's cool, a little gross, but cool.
Yeah. It was worm crawling up my belly here,
That's good.
But no, it's pretty cool.
They're fun. So, yeah, and that's what we're doing. We're getting all that stuff ready to go.
Absolutely. And please, I and just to clarify, because I want to do this every time just to make sure people don't forget, Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is a wildlife refuge. It's there to preserve and to and to support the habitat of this area, and to and the big fight out there is keeping what's native to New Mexico native in there, and keeping what's not native to New Mexico out of there.
No more salt cedar.
Yeah, no more.
That
no
really
more
is the
cedar.
big battle. But Bitter Lake is not the place for you to go camping and boating and swimming and all that. It is a wildlife preserve. Come out and enjoy nature. Come out and see the birds. Come see each season's a different experience out at Bitter Lake. Come experience the wildlife. Come experience even some of the human history that's out there. With if you go out to the visitor center, you can learn some about the Native American history of the buffalo hunting grounds that was all part of this area, and learning some of the things they found through archaeological digs and things like that out there, and just seeing. So it's not just natural history; it's human history in there, as well. And then of course,
CCC,
the CCC stuff. I mean, in and of itself, the facilities and things like that out there are as much of the fabric and history of Bitter Lake as is the plants and animals and the lake itself.
We have some buildings that were originally built back in the 30s by CCC. The governmental
this is during like the New
program.
Deal era, the Roosevelts, when during the Depression, getting us back to they had the infrastructure side with roads and highways, and then they also had the building these kind of projects like these refuges and dams and things like that, and it was all part of these programs to do that. So it's history in and of itself through there. It's great. But I do want to make that distinction. So if you're looking to go boat and back, you go to bottomless lakes. That's what that's for.
That's for recreational.
But when you want to come and see nature and get a chance to get your family to kind of take some walks through the trails and see what kind of vegetation and animal life call this part of the country home, and you're going to and you're going to be fascinated, because if you've never been out there, you're going to think, well, how could it be? I live here in Roswell. It's desert. It's, brown, and, I see what. And then you drive out to Bitter Lake, and it's a whole nother universe. It really is. You're going to go there and realize, are we still in southeast New Mexico? Because it's not going to feel that way.
Yeah.
It's going to feel way different.
You might want to think of Bitter Lake as kind of an open-air zoo.
Mm-hmm.
That's
a good way to look at it.
Yeah. But we don't contain them.
Everything's in their natural.
We give that the space for nature to have its own deal, own thing out there. So
I'm kind of curious when the summer months are here. We talk dragonflies at the end of the summer, but what's kind of the hot action and stuff that's this time of year out at the refuge?
You're not going to see a whole lot unless you get there very early in the morning,
when
right
it's
after
before
sunrise.
It gets hot.
And the gates open at sunrise, so you can get in. Then you might see. We've still got fox and raccoons, and we've even seen some cats. Big. Well, we haven't seen a mountain lion, but we do have like
bobcats,
bobcat types.
Okay. All right.
That sort of thing.
Not house cats, bobcats.
Yeah, well, we've probably got some house cats out there too, accidentally.
Well, again, that's the fight is keeping things that aren't native to the area out of there. Mostly it's plant life, but sometimes it's animals too.
Right. That's right. unfortunately, people think that's a good dumping ground for unwanted pets, which don't do that, please.
Well,
they don't survive to begin with.
Well, and I always say this, and regardless of your of faith or not of faith, nature's a very, my opinion, God worked out the plan pretty good.
Yep.
Others, and so when you go and put a different variable in that well-oiled machine, you can cause quite a disturbance in that whole routine by putting a foreign substance, an animal that's not supposed to be there or a plant that's not supposed to be there. And it really can wreak havoc on that kind of stuff. And it's a dance. Bitter Lake Wildlife, it's a dance of nature. And like you said, because this time of year, it's June, July, guess what? It's 106 out every day. Animals don't hang out when it's 106 either. So they're going to be out at 6 in the morning or daybreak when they can go get their food or go get whatever they've got to do for the day. And then by the time the sun's up, they're hunkered down trying to stay cool.
Stay out of that heat. Yep, it's a battle for the animals.
Yeah.
So we got to take care of them.
So if you want to come out and see like the animals active, you're going to have to get up early, and the early bird gets the worm on this one. And
That's right.
Come out and see it. Do they get a lot of activity around dusk too, or does it?
We do get some, but they're going to wait until after that sun goes down at night.
Your nocturnal animals start coming. Your
out.
Owls, and I guess if there's any bats in the area, I'm not sure where there is or not.
There are. We used to have, and I'd like to. Hopefully, we can do that again. We used to have a bat box out there.
Okay.
A couple of them, in fact, and we would encourage the bats. They eat insects.
Oh yeah, they're great to have.
So since we do get a lot of biting flies at certain times during the year, it would be good to have the bats around to get those.
Maybe we can set up like a Inn of the Mountain Gods hotel type resort for bats.
There you
go. There at the refuge, and maybe some of the Carlsbad bats can be like, "Hey, you want to take a little jaunt up north?
Right. Yeah,
come feed on plenty of our fruit thing. And while you're here, you can have some fun in our cave.
Yeah,
make it a little nice for them. I don't know what amenities they would want to make it a vacation. Padded hanging things or something. I don't know.
Who knows? Right. Little pole up there,
nice padded things to hang on, stuff
there
like
you
that.
Go.
Nice catchers for the guano at the bottom there.
You
something
go.
fancy,
we could always put the guano to use too. That's a good fertilizer.
It's a very valuable commodity, guano. I know there's probably some nations in South America and Africa that's a cash crop for them.
It is
things like that.
It is.
But yeah, I'm joking about the motel, obviously. But in essence, if you think of that place like that in human terms, you can kind of understand its role a little bit better, and that's why I say jokes about it's the pilot flying, because in essence that's what it is. If you're on the road and you hit those places to fuel up and rest and get a drink or whatever, they're doing the same thing. They're come to Bitter Lake. They'll stay a day or so and get water, fed, shelter for the evening, and then when they're ready, they
fly on to wherever
they're
going.
To their, whether it's continuing north or continuing south, depending on the time of the year, to where they go. It's a fun, amazing little dance that you get to watch, and we could do a plug here to be a friend if you're interested in wanting to experience more of this and see parts of the refuge that generally the public isn't always have access to. Volunteering by becoming a friend like these two gentlemen is kind of a way to do it. The Friends of Bitter Lake, these are all volunteers. These two gentlemen are amongst them. And are you still in charge, or did they pass the baton to?
I passed that along.
Yeah,
last
I knew you
year.
were president for a little bit there, but
no, I'm now. I guess you might call special events.
he's a gap in the line. Fill in and let's get him in there.
Yeah, such as Dragonfly and Cranes and Cocoa and our spring cleanup and things like that.
And those are kind of the visible part of Friends of Bitter Lake. Like those the friends help and organize and facilitate like the Dragonfly Festival. Obviously, the paid staff is there functioning and doing their and very much a part of the actual festival. But as far as planning, organizing, and all that, it's Friends of Bitter Lake. But on top of that, it's the labor force side too. So when there's a service project like these bird blinds we speak of, or there's a trail that needs to be
cleaned up or resurfaced.
Then the friends are the ones out there doing these service projects. So if you like gardening, digging in the dirt a little bit, having that kind of fun stuff, and
I got dirty nails.
There you go. And there's only so much havoc you can create in your own yards.
That's right.
And come out, and we've got plenty of acres for you to kind of get involved in. Now, obviously, everything's supervised with the
staff.
Yeah, the biologists, the environment experts, and to making sure that the projects are being done are ones that kind of jive with being eco-friendly and all of that, but at the same time serve the function of which they're trying to do with that.
And we do have a new biologist.
Yes.
He just started on the 21st.
Okay.
Yeah. The longest day.
So like yesterday or day before, which was the 23rd. Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday, the longest day.
Good deal.
So he had his longest day. But
where is our biologist coming from, just out of curiosity?
I have not met him yet, so
I didn't
I'm
know
not sure where.
If this was a culture shock, our weather and everything, or is this
probably,
or this something?
It has been for our last two.
Okay,
the previous one, it was a shock to him, but the one before that always lived in this area.
Okay,
he had family over in Las
quite
Cruces
familiar
or
with
something, so he knew.
our arid, dry climate.
Yeah,
so.
but the one before, in fact, he got a promotion.
That happens sometimes.
Yes.
They do a good job. They tend to give you other jobs.
Yeah. You know what they say: you rise to the level of your incompetence.
There you go.
That's a good one.
So we have a new one now.
Oh, cool! We'll get to meet him here. Maybe,
I'm hoping I can get
maybe
him
next
out
time
next
or
month.
in a month
Yeah.
too. We'll get
We'll
get
see.
him. But I always like when they come from someplace very different from here, and then we expose them to things like green chili is the one that always gets me, because most people embrace it. There's always one or two that if it's new to them, it's, you know what I mean? It's
sure.
Like I grew up in Maryland, so crab is our version of green chili. You know? Like you get people, and it's like most people, they don't mind eating crab, but they don't want to go through the nonsense of picking and all that stuff. That's
the fun of it.
That's part of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the experience. They don't get that. That's a social event. You know,
Yeah.
when we were kids, and they would literally put the paper down, a couple pitchers of beer at either end of the table, and they put a bushel of crab. Now, obviously, I was a kid; they didn't let me have the beer, but you know what I mean. It was,
sure.
and then everyone sits around with their crackers and their knives and their vinegar or whatever they like
Crack
to dip
it
in.
open,
and you sit there and just shoot the breeze and eat crab all night. That's part of the deal.
Sounds like a good time.
It is fun. It's a lot of fun, and plus crabs are. I mean, let's face it. If you look at that, I'm not going to lie. The first person must have been awful hungry. They ate a crab. There's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because to see that going, I could eat that. I mean, let's face it. I mean, you had to be pretty hungry to see that. But I'm glad they did, because it's a delicacy. I love it. But anyway, it's kind of, I love when they have that green chili in there, and they kind of either, and I love when they when they get it and they eat it and they're like, oh my God, this is so much different. Or when we talk about Mexican food and they're all Tex-Mex, and we're like that's
not our. That's a different.
Yeah, that's fancy Taco Bell, dude. This is what we're talking about. This is with the green. This is authentic New Mexican, which is much more closer to authentic Mexican food.
That's right.
Than Tex-Mex.
A lot of our New Mexico type Mexican food comes from the Native Americans.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Apache, Navajo. Pueblo.
But, and you think about it, these are people that lived off the land. So what's on the land is what you eat.
That's
and
right.
So, we have the chili. So we were able to infuse that, which I'm sure the natives were very much at cultivating, and they probably taught us how to do it. And then,
they did. They did.
And now we take that and we incorporate the influence of Mexico into that, and that's how we get our foods and things.
That's right.
It's all that incorporate, but it all starts with what's on the land.
Right.
Right.
You ever wonder why you go to Grand Canyon and they got prickly pear everything out there? Because there's a bunch of them out there. So, by the way, it's pretty tasty. If you ever have like prickly pear jam, or I had a chocolate with prickly pear, and it was pretty tasty.
Yeah.
So if you ever go to that area, go pick some up. It's pretty good. But yeah. So anyway, I got off track.
I even got a recipe to do prickly pear jam.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's where I'm not. I mean, I try if but I'm that guy that I'll buy it because I'm like, you know what? There's no way I can do a better job than that guy. I'll just take what that person did.
That's why I haven't needed it. But, coming up, Farmers Market.
Yes, here in July.
Yes.
Is Bitter Lake going to have a booth out there?
We're
too?
going to have,
Good.
actually, it's going to be a combination booth.
Okay.
American Legion, Bitter Lake, and Alzheimer's.
Oh, good deal.
I'm
Which
gonna
means
have all
Don's going to
three
be
of
there
them.
at all three because these are because Don's
7 to 11 every Saturday morning.
So he can help you with all three of those out there. So
Yep.
I know American Legion a lot of times they'll have baked goods and things out at the booth. So if you want to pick that up and help out,
we will.
Bitter Lake, I'm sure you can come and learn about different events and things. Sign up to be a friend of Bitter Lake, and
I'll have tickets for the door prize.
Okay. For this year's Dragonfly
For this
Fest?
prize, yeah, Dragonfly.
What is the prize this year?
No, gosh, I've got all kinds of prizes.
Okay. Is there a big one or a...
We got a big quilt.
And that's kind of usually the...
Susie Flint.
The big...
Always made these.
You have a great lady that...
Yeah, she's fantastic. She has moved over to Los Lunas, but she's still got a quilt and a wall hanging.
And we got the United States Postal Service, so you can get
Well,
it.
they're here.
Oh, good.
They're
Okay.
already here. And actually, Susie's going to be back. She runs our kitchen for the staff during the Dragonfly.
Okay.
So she's going to do that again.
Well, good, because I imagine that's a very important part.
It is. It's a major part.
Because if you've got that many volunteers having to be out at dark 30, you better feed them.
That's right. You got it.
I know I need to be.
Yeah, I get it. You know, that's... I'm telling you, half the life is feed people, man. You show up with a basket of burritos, you could take on the world.
That's right. You got it. You got it. So they'll be there.
Good.
The tickets. Now we're besides the quilts, we've got a duck print. It's not a print. We found out that those duck paintings in the nature store are actually paintings.
Okay.
They're originals.
Oh, wow.
So they could be worth a heck of a lot more than what we have been advertising.
You might been valuing these things on accidentally.
They could be several $100s.
Well, that could be y'all's, as far as Bitter Lake, Friends of Bitter Lake's mistake might be your fortune there.
That's
on that
right.
one.
And they are still on sale.
Okay.
If they're still there by the time.
Hurry up before they get on eBay and find out the real value of these
That's
things.
right. If they're still there by that
Right.
time, we will put those out on the drawings.
Quick story, just it's all
Okay.
But if for folks who've been listening into the show the last couple of weeks, one of our sales reps from Artesia, like a week ago, brought in a Braille Playboy magazine from 1999.
Oh my gosh!
And it's actually part 1 of 4. It's just the articles, obviously, because it's Braille. But it was literally a Braille Playboy from July of 1999. But it was one, and it's this big brown, it's that big Braille paper. It's pretty cool little nugget of, weird history there. But it was sitting here for weeks. And then Tuesday, I was back in Artesia, and the sales rep goes, "Hey, is that Playboy still laying around at the office out there?" I said, yeah, it's still there. Why? She goes, "Oh, I just found out it's worth $400. I want it back."
Oh my goodness!
no!
Yeah, so I said, "No problem." So when you said the painting story, I'm thinking, "Yeah, Joe, be careful. Go get it now before they figure out these things worth more money."
That's right. Yeah.
But that Playboy reminded me of that same story there, so I had to share.
They used to have an advertisement for a hamburger place out in California. You better buy these before they find out what they're worth. You know what that is? In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, that's In-N-Out, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was their advertisement thing for a while.
See, I'm East Coast raised, so I'm from the Five Guys School of Burgers.
Five Guys. Okay.
No White Castles.
Well, you know what? There's always a soft spot for White Castle.
Yeah.
But as far as, the In-N-Out Five Guys, I don't know, unofficial East Coast, West Coast, whatever, I'm Team Five Guys.
That's what you grew up with.
That's I didn't grow up
more
because
or
they
less.
weren't there.
Yeah.
They actually got big in the DC because they started in the DC area. Actually,
Did they?
Five Guys
Okay.
did. The first one was there right in DC, but so it blew up after I left the area, but it blew up quick, and so I tried it. I actually lived here by the time I tried my first Five Guys, and once I had it,
They were good.
Yeah, I was like, oh dang, this is. And then I got to literally, I made the mistake the first time of ordering a large fry.
Uh-oh.
Which, pro tip, never order the large fry at Five Guys unless you're glutton for punishment. Because, well, they literally take those brown paper sandwich bags and fill it with fries. They put a cup in there. Why, I don't know. But there is a cup to hold the fry. But there's like 6 fries in there, and the rest of the bag is just fry. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
And the small fries, same thing, just a little less fries in that same bag. Not much less, but a little less. So get the small. You will share it with at least 2 to 3 other people at the table. But it's delicious. And they always tell you where the fries come from. If you ever notice, when you ever go to a Five Guys, you'll go in and they'll say, today's potatoes came from so-and-so, Idaho. And they'll tell you exactly where they come from. It's pretty.
Wow.
It's pretty. That's my thing. But I've had In-N-Out, and I'll never kick it out of the bed. It's a delicious burger as well. But Team Five Guy.
Okay.
All right, back to Bitter Lake. I don't know how I got sidetracked there, but yeah. So beginning the first farmers market here, you can start getting tickets for the quilt, which I think that's where we got off the rails, was at the quilt.
Plus, we got a bunch of gift cards.
Okay.
As well.
Good deal.
Some
for the store and things and like that.
Yeah, we got all kinds of stuff out there. So.
Oh, by the way, if maybe you don't have a couple hours to spend to kind of walk the property and see some of the trails and things, but if you're looking for like birthday gifts or Christmas gifts or
nature store
gifts for yourself, there's no rule saying you have to give it to people. You can keep it. They have an amazing nature store there that's got all kinds of great gifts. So if you've got people that love reading or love, that photos, all that kind of stuff you'll find there, but T-shirts and hats, and it's got so if you've got like the person that likes to do research and that kind of thing, it's going to be plenty of gifts for that person. But if you love folks that like their T-shirts and hats and love even like the kids' toys and things like that, there's plenty of fun stuff like that your younger group will like too. Yeah. But yeah, it's a great, and by you shopping in there, you're supporting, because all the proceeds from that go back into the projects and everything that's part of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. So by you coming out and buying the T-shirts and the books and all that, you're supporting that next bird blind they're going to build, or next conservation project that needs to be taken care of out there.
We don't have any paid employees at the nature store.
Yes,
we're
it's all volunteers.
But the space was donated to nature store by the refuge.
Nice.
Because that's the refuge building.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's their property.
Right. But they donated that space to us specifically. So everything that we make goes right into the funds to help out on the
So it keeps refuge. That overhead low and all that kind of stuff, which is what you want in a nonprofit, because you want to give as much of that to the actual goal of what you're trying to raise money for. So, but if you do have a little bit more time, go wander around and walk out. It is.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it's. We always joke about the Oasis. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. You can literally drive a couple miles outside of town and be in an entirely different world. And to be honest, that's what makes New Mexico awesome. Yep. That's something. I grew up, like I said, Maryland, East Coast, green. Stacking up When I came out here, military brought me out. And I remember the first time I was coming on the plane and I see nothing but brown, and I'm like, oh, Lord, what did I get into? But now I've been here since New Mexico since 96. And now I can't imagine living, I wouldn't want to live back east even if someone literally paid me a bunch of money. I'd be like, no, I love family. That side, but the hustle and bustle, the way of life, and just the things you see and do out here. I never got to experience things back east that I got to experience. Like the first time I saw a huge moon was out here in New Mexico. You never see that back east.
Yeah.
I'm like I see movies and they have a big moon, and I'm like, what is that? Some Hollywood trick or something? That's garbage, a cartoon. Nope. And then I get out here, I'm like, holy cow, the moon actually gets that big sometimes, And that was, and just and obviously the fact that you could literally go an hour in one direction and be in an entirely different environment. That you go an hour west and you're in these mountains and pine trees. You go, a couple minutes up the road, you're at this oasis, and then you go a couple hours north, you're back into these other different mountains. It's just, get that back east, and you can't. And so I we have a real treasure here. And so
We do.
People that have born and raised and grew up here, come appreciate what you got, because you don't realize how special it is till you don't have it anymore. I would say people in D.C. area, they are guilty of the same thing, because I grew up there. And I was one of the ones that loved going to the museums and the malls and the monuments and all. Love it. It's every American should go do it. It's amazing. But people back in D.C., I mean, Air Force One flew over my house every day. And you kind of, it gets, you know what I mean? It's just, to most Americans, that's like, whoa.
Yeah.
What a crazy thing it just happened. To us, it's like, it happens about 3 times a day. You know what I mean? It's just, that's life. And you can't see the forest from the trees sometimes. And that's kind of what happens to us when we do that. So don't let that happen to you. Come out to Bitter Lake. Come see this amazing, beautiful natural phenomena in its natural habitat. It's doing what it's doing. It's kind of, I mean, the beauty of, and this is where I learned this lesson a little hard in Carlsbad. Nature does what it wants, and nature goes, and you can maybe coax it, you can suggest it do certain things, but it's going to do what it wants. And,
that's right.
And I think that's part of the awesomeness that is going out there, where you go out and you're seeing the animals, but then you see something like that was weird, and it's like, well, that's nature. That's what happens. And I learned the lesson in Carlsbad when I went to go out to see the bats leave for the night to go hunting.
Oh, yes.
And I picked a night where I guess they didn't feel like going out so much. It's like, all right, here it comes, and there was like 3 bats, and I'm like, all right, that was it. I think I kind of didn't see them because it's kind of dark and it's hard to see them coming out unless there's a bunch of them. And it was just a night that, I don't know if they just had a good hunting night the night before and they were full, or I don't know, or if it was the weather or what. But I would say maybe less than 10% went out hunting that night. But what are you gonna do?
That's nature.
I'm sure if I go the next night, everybody, every bat in the whole place comes pouring out of there. It's
all
just
6 million of them.
But that's what is cool to me, because you don't know, and you don't, and you can't control that. You just gotta sit and enjoy the ride. And if you take it from that perspective, I think you're gonna find it much more fascinating, much cooler, and be much more appreciative of those little things. Like, come out to Dragonfly Festival in the fall here, or late summer. Sign up for as many. They have the early bird tour, which that fills up very quick. So you want to sign up for that one too. They have the Dragonfly tour, which focuses on the dragonflies. But then you have kind of an overall nature tour too, right? Where you get to see not just the dragonflies, but other aspects of the refuge and the plant life. And
if you don't feel like walking around, always take one of those tours.
Absolutely.
And then walk around.
Because then you can go and see all the highlights, and then walk out to the places you want to kind of spend a little more time and all that.
Pick and choose.
Good news is every single one of these tours free of charge.
Right.
Bad news is they're popular, and you got to sign up early, or you're going to not get a tour.
Right. The only thing that's going to cost you is, and bear with me on this, because we're working on having the Boy Scouts come out and do their hot dog thing again.
Oh, good. So you can come out and buy some food and support the Scouts. Great.
We're going to have something like that.
Good.
And we think the Scouts are going to do it.
Well, and I think that people will be very appreciative of that, because walking around stuff works up an appetite. And you're like, dang, I'm kind of hungry here.
But that's the only thing that's going to cost you.
Good. And then, of course, if you do want to buy things at the store, or if you want to get a raffle ticket for the quilt, that's going to cost money. But again,
there will be some vendors in a big tent.
Okay, so if you want to buy some artifacts or whatever
artwork and artifacts from the area. So.
Oh, cool. And that's the only way you can get them, by the way.
Yes.
Don't go. Well, first off, they usually don't let you out on your own into some of those areas to go. But please, like we said, it's an ecosystem, and we want humans touch as very little as we possibly can, and that's why whenever there is. But that being said, come be a friend.
That's right.
Because now you can go and see some of these parts that the public doesn't get to. But it's for a reason. It's because you got to remember, goal number 1 is to preserve the wildlife and vegetation of that area. That is priority number 1. Everything else is secondary. And if you remember that then you'll understand why the rules are that way. Yes, we want this here for all of people and everybody to enjoy, but to keep it that way, we've got to keep as many people that aren't necessary to the process out of it to do that. So we, if you want to go camp and doing all that kind of stuff, that's why Bottomless Lakes is here to do that. This is legitimately here to come and enjoy nature. It's come to see animals in their natural, not even past the zoo's a great thing too. Don't get me wrong and all that, but there's going to be things out of Bitter Lake that you'll never see at a zoo.
That's right.
You will never see at a zoo. These are wild animals. These are animals that aren't on a feeding schedule that's created by a human. Or you know what I mean, not directly.
And you should remember that if you're going to go out there and walk around.
Exactly. These animals and earth and wildlife are there living their natural habitat schedule. So
that's right.
And it isn't on your time. So if they're not as exciting that night, it's because they're living their life. They're not there to entertain you.
That's right. That's right. Do remember that if you do walk around out there during the summer like this, there are snakes.
Yes.
So
snakes are going to be out because they're cold-blooded animals and they go to where it's warm and so that they're going to be out and about during the day more often, in the warmer temperatures.
Right.
So be mindful of that.
Right.
So
they do most of their hunting for food in the early evenings and early mornings.
Okay.
But
again, when all the animals are out and when there's plenty
that's
of
when they're
sources
looking
of food.
looking for food. So
because the mice and rats and various other varmints that they're going after, they're
Are
hunting
also
at
out
those
there.
times, and so he's hunting them.
but that doesn't mean they're. But the snakes will be out during the heat of the day, even.
Yeah, they're just out sunning on the rocks and trying to keep body temperature and things like that. That's their
They'll
nature.
crawl under a tree for a while and then
And to
come
be
out
honest,
again.
they won't mess with you unless you mess with them.
That's
9
right.
times
You
out of
stay
10.
out of their way,
Yeah.
and they're not going to bother you.
When if you come by one and say it's a rattler and they start rattling the tail and raising their head and
Back
they're not,
off.
they're just telling you, go away. I'm not going to mess with you, but go away or I will mess with you.
Yeah.
He's warning you.
Yeah.
Take the
I'm going
warning.
to protect myself.
You see the rattler and everything. He's telling you, you keep coming at me. It's going to be a bad day for you.
Yeah.
Take that advice.
Right.
Stay away. And then of course, if there's a lot of people in there, report. Say, hey, there's a
Rattler out
let
there.
the proper people know so we can make sure someone doesn't get hurt or something like that. But
we move those out to a little farther distance.
and just remember, you're in their house.
That's right.
This is their house, their rules. You live by their rules. You come into their house, you be polite. Just like anybody, someone comes in your house, you expect that same thing.
Right.
So please be a good steward of that land, and that's why it's not Bottomless Lake, because there is a time and a place for fun and camping and boating, and that's amazing. We're very fortunate to have that, and we should utilize it. However, Bitter Lake is not that place. Bitter Lake is a place for us to come and enjoy the outdoors, enjoy our wildlife, and to learn about these animals. And I'm sure there's so much information that our biologists and things over the years have garnered just by studying what's going on out at Bitter Lake with the plant life, with the animal life. So we go out there and the friends are there to preserve that, but we're also learning it so the next generation knows what's and obviously what the climate's impact and everything that's going on there. They're using Bitter Lake as a study case to see how's it impacting, what's going on, what do we need to do to countermeasure this kind of stuff. This is at the end of the day, that's the purpose of this. And the ancillary secondaries, we the public to come and be amongst it and see it.
We can observe it, yes.
But you just got to remember, it's not your home. We're the visitors, and treat it as such.
Very true.
Treat it as the Boy Scouts have a saying that when they go out, always leave a place better than you found it. Please use that mindset when you go out to Bitter Lake.
We do have out there a designated area for the Boy Scout, Cub Scout groups.
Good.
Period. That's just for them.
Oh, for them to do their camping or scouting.
They can do their
activities
camping
and
out
things.
there. So, but that's the only camping that's allowed out there at all.
And by the way, all those scouts are trained in, like when they go camping, it's that they're learning how to
preserve it,
to lay low impact camping, things
Right.
that
Right.
leave
That's
a smaller impact on.
Leave a smaller footprint.
Yes, smaller footprint, and that goes from how they.
That's
eat
exactly
to
why
how
we
they
set
sleep.
this aside for them, so they can learn that.
Yeah, I remember in my time in Scouts, and again, being from Maryland, I got the chance to go to Philmont here, which is a big deal in Scouts. It's a national, that camp up in northern New Mexico, it's the largest, biggest Scout reservation in the country. That is the Scout destination. They have other high adventure bases, but the king of the Mount Rushmore there is Philmont Scout Ranch.
Right.
It is the best. And I went there as a kid, and that's where we exercised and learned a lot of that. Everything I owned was in a backpack. We had no open fires. It was little one-burner stoves. All of our food and stuff, none of that stayed behind. If you couldn't burn or get rid of altogether, then we pack it out with us. Bear bags, everything that has a smell. By the way, when you go low-impact camping, you don't bring things like toothpaste and deodorant, just telling you. Because
they smell that.
It smells the bears, but so in essence, there's no point if you're going to be in the woods for a week, there's no point you using deodorant when all you're going to do is attract bears.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is all it's going to do. So you don't do those but you learn all that. But even like liquids, and we as low impact camp, we learned all that in Scouts. So that's why they're the ones that get to go out there and do it, because they teach and practice the right way to camp in those to make that real impact. Now, this isn't glamping and all the stuff you guys are used to, going out to the lake with your coolers upon coolers. And this is you're living in a
pack it in,
a tent
pack it
or
out.
tent-like tent in a bag that's a sleep bag. It's very minimal. You probably only have 3, depending how long you're gone, just a couple of changes of clothes, enough to keep you dry and warm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not a beauty contest. It's not you're going to smell, you're going to look dirty, and but
it's all right.
It's all right, and you camp, and then by the time you go to some of these camps, you can't even tell someone's been there. That's the way it because, and that's how that's
the idea.
how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
exactly. But anyway, I got on a rant there. We're running out of time here, but if anybody wants learn more about becoming a friend or anything else, is the website probably the best resource? Or,
that would be
Facebook?
a good one.
And that's friendsofbitterlake.org, if I remember right.
Correct.
Is the website. If you go to friendsofbitterlake.org, there. By the way, that's going to be the website you can reserve your different tours for the Dragonfly Festival. It'll be all through there direct. So bookmark that website and check back with it often. I know Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge also has a Facebook page that you can like and follow and ask questions on as well too. Is there a number out at the store if anybody has any questions during business hours there?
Our old number is active again.
Okay.
We had some phone problems.
I think that's what he was digging up there, was that number.
Yeah, I was trying to find that number in there.
By the way, that's a nice wallet you got there. It looks very, very durable.
That's why I got it. I keep busting up other wallets.
Yeah.
I
think I'd have a bruise about that size in my back pocket, though, the way I keep sitting down, though, on that thing.
Okay, Bitter Lake. Now we got it. Hang on, there it is. We've got 2 numbers now that you could use. One of them is 575-625 401. I'm sorry, 625-4009.
Okay.
Now that should get you the front desk.
Okay.
If that one doesn't, try 575-244-6256.
Okay.
And one of those will get you into the front desk.
Okay.
The 4009 is the one they were having problems with. I think they've got it resolved. It seems to be working good.
Okay.
But the other one is now a backup for that.
Okay. And of course, like you said, hours, the gates open at dawn and close at dusk.
Right.
If I remember right. So please leave before then. Though, if you get stuck in, there is someone that can let you out. There's a night patrol person that can get you.
Well,
but
on your way out, if you approach the gate slowly, it will let you out.
Okay, so there is
it's an automatic
there if you do it. But you're not going to get in after that.
No, it's exit only.
All right, so because I'm sure a time or two someone's back out there and they get wrapped up in the nature and forget that it's 8 o'clock.
It's dark. What am I doing here?
It happens.
Yeah.
But folks, get ready with. Please make plans to attend the Dragonfly Festival here in September. We didn't get a chance to talk so much about Cranes and Cocoa. We'll talk about that more next time. But that'll be right on the heels of Dragonfly Festival, Thanksgiving time.
Thanksgiving time. So.
But this time of year, if you want to come out and see the most activity at the lake, come early mornings. Get out there about 6:30 in the morning. You can kind of get a good chance of seeing the animals getting their food on and getting life together, living their lives here in the morning before they hunker down in the harder part of the day here. So.
Yeah.
And then of course, if you can't do mornings, maybe do a dusk time. Come around 7 o'clock or so. And start seeing some of the nocturnal animals and things.
It's light until about 8 o'clock now.
Yeah, it is pretty late.
Somewhere around there.
So yeah, you get out there about 7 or so. You can maybe have a little snack or something, and walk around and see things.
Don't throw your trash away.
Just what you bring in, you take out with you.
Yeah, that's right. Pack it in, pack it out,
or more, or bring some you see with you on the way out.
That's right.
So, well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you next month. Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Anytime. All right, it is. All right, there you go. That was our interview with the folks from Bitter Lake, talking about all the stuff they've got going on there. That's about going to do it for us for today's show. If you missed any part of the show, check it out at your leisure. Just log on to ksvptv.com. We chit-chatted and replayed some interviews. They're both there right now. We replayed our interview with Andrew Moore from the Chamber in the 7 o'clock hour, and then, of course, 8 o'clock we chit-chatted, which you may or may not want to listen to. And then, of course, we had the interview just a few minutes ago with the Friends of Bitter Lake. So ksvptv.com. You can also go to our 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM YouTube channel. We have that as well, and our 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Facebook wall. You'll find all of our interviews and stuff there. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. We do greatly appreciate that. Hope all of you have a wonderful day. We'll be back bright and early with a new show tomorrow, and then Sean will take over for Monday, Tuesday. But have a great day. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM